teammate days, and but you know what, we found a way to win, and you know this rivalry seems to have a lot of these kind of games, and this was our night.
North Carolina winning in Raleigh for the first time since 2019. Arizona remains the unanimous number one pick in the AP Top 25 College Men's Basketball Poll. Michigan jumped to second place. UConn, Duke, and Illinois round out the top five. You're listening to NCN Sports.
Practicing a championship way can happen 100% of every day. In the pool and when traveling highways. A law of sportsmanship includes taking the high road when going away and returning home. Buckle up your seatbelt in the front and back seats. Every seat, every time. Each time you click, it counts as a winning ticket. Demonstrate your championship drive through your safety practice. A freestyle by any measure. This message was brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
Sometimes the simplest steps make the biggest difference. Washing your hands often, staying home when you're sick, and talking with your health provider about vaccines.
Help keep your family protected against the flu, RSV, and COVID. Simple steps, big protection.
Defend yourself. Get vaccinated to protect you and your family from respiratory illnesses this season. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find yours today.
Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says preparations for Sunday's Super Bowl remain unchanged despite questions about potential ICE enforcement actions. Speaking to reporters, Goodell clarified the game has always been classified as a Tier 1 level event, the highest security designation.
Security is obviously one of the things we focus on the most. It's a Tier 1 level event that involves unique assets at the federal level, state level, and the local level, all working together. I see no change in that in the preparations for the Super Bowl.
The Seattle Seahawks take on the New England Patriots in that rematch of the 2015 Super Bowl, 6:30 Sunday evening from Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Coming up tonight in hockey, the Carolina Hurricanes will be at home with the Ottawa Senators. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Educating America nightly from his hidden bunker. It's Mark Levin, weeknights 6 to 9, here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
Hurry, don't miss this rebate. Get exclusive savings on select cafe appliances at Keys Appliance Center in Aberdeen before the rebate program ends June 30th. Whether you're building or remodeling, the stunning look of cafe appliances coupled with their smart technology will make any kitchen a delight to cook in. Receive up to $3,000 on select appliances via Visa prepaid card direct from cafe. Better hurry, the offer ends June 30th. Visit the appliance experts at Keys Appliance Center in downtown Aberdeen for complete details. Sandy Ridge Memory Care provides all the amenities of home while providing personalized resident care and a dedication to a safe, secure, and comfortable environment for your loved one. Providing care for dementia and Alzheimer's population has been our specialty for over 20 years. Research has proven that a loving, structured, and intimate home environment successfully fulfills the needs of both the one affected by dementia and Alzheimer's, as well as the family caregivers. As one of the largest memory care facilities in North Carolina, we feature 3 separate secure units within our community. Each wing is designed for individual needs and preferences. Call for an appointment or just drop in to tour our facility and discover for yourself the care that sets us apart. Located only minutes from Moore County and surrounding areas, Sandy Ridge Memory Care is the right place at the right time. On Bowman Road in Candor or online at sandyridgeliving.com. Call 910-974-6000.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
Looking for a dealership that truly puts you first? Visit Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai, where your satisfaction is our top priority. Whether you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, or your current car just needs a little TLC, we've got you covered with the Pinehurst Advantage Plan. You'll get 24/7 roadside assistance. That's 5 years of unlimited coverage, including towing, battery jump starts, and flat tire changes. Plus, with any major service, enjoy a complimentary loaner car, so you're never left stranded. With our 100% customer satisfaction guarantee, if you're not completely satisfied within 72 hours of purchasing your new or pre-owned vehicle, just bring it back. It's no wonder for the 3rd year in a row, we've been voted Best of the Pines in 2024 for Best Dealership Service Department. Ready to experience the Pinehurst difference? Visit us online at pinehursttoyota.com or pinehursthyundaiονline.com. Call us at 910-692-2424. Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai, where quality meets customer care.
Everyone has one, a to-do list. Don't let yours become overwhelming. Your friendly Olmsted Village Hardware family is just around the corner, ready to assist. The team is on duty every day off of Highway 211 in Pinehurst Olmsted Village Shopping Center. Convenient parking awaits you near the front door. Inside, we'll handle your projects affordably and efficiently. Olmsted Village Hardware carries a broad spectrum of tools for home and garden, including a lineup of Ego electric chainsaws, blowers, and hedge trimmers. Ego products are more powerful than gas options. Do-it-yourselfers are inspired by our selections of must-have tools for the home workshop, including time-tested brands such as DeWalt, Master Mechanic, and National Hardware. Whatever is on the list, Manager Joe and his staff are standing by to help 7 days a week. And don't forget to ask about our bargains of the month. Short on time? No problem. Shop with us online and schedule delivery.
My name is Tony Keith of Keith Hardware in Carthage, North Carolina. I'm the 3rd generation of a family-owned business.
And I'm Taylor Keith of Keith Hardware in Carthage, the 4th generation. We have been in business for almost 90 years.
We sell live bait, crickets, minnows, and worms, fishing tackle, nuts and bolts and screws by the piece. You can still come in and get nails weighed out by the pound, or 1s or 2s, however you'd like.
The guys, they know what they're doing. You don't have to ask for service. You tell them what you need. If they ain't got it, usually they can conjure it up.
Keith Hardware has been a tradition in this town for as long as I've been in business, and they run a good business and they're good people.
I came in with 2 pieces of plumbing. I handed it to this guy, and he took off the back, picked it up, and brought it back. Their knowledge is invaluable to me.
With Keith Hardware, I rent the building from them next door. And Tony and Ginger are doing an excellent job. I'm proud of them.
Come visit Keith Hardware today at 207 Monroe Street in Carthage.
We're just an old-fashioned hardware store.
Power outages don't have to put your life on hold. At GenPro, we specialize exclusively in installing and maintaining Generac home standby generators, nothing else. Our skilled team will assess your needs to find the right size generator, handle a seamless installation, and provide ongoing maintenance so you have reliable power when the lights go out. Trust GenPro for professional, dedicated Generac generator solutions. Contact GenPro today at 910-986-2959. That's 910-986-2959 and experience true peace of mind.
The greatest comeback of all time is underway. Remember to shop local businesses. A reminder from Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
This is Steve Woodward teeing off. When snow falls in North Carolina, tyranny and arrogance rise. After last Saturday's non-storm failed to threaten accumulation records, Democrat Governor Josh Stein flooded social media with messages. Stay off the roads, Stein lectured. But the politician's lockdown mentality never fails to clash with reality. Absent a weather apocalypse, medical facilities must remain operational. Surgeons and nurses and technicians are obligated to show up. While schools notoriously close even for snow flurries, small businesses on thin margins can't hunker down and wait for a green light from the governor's mansion. Restaurants and cafes sow seeds of goodwill when they open doors amid winter conditions, and staff appreciate income and tips. Several Sandhills eateries never closed last weekend. That will be remembered. And let us not forget Duke Energy's response in recent days. The same Duke Energy that raised residential rates as of January 1, again, to accommodate rising costs of unreliable, renewable, and solar energy, issued a request on Sunday. Reduce energy use, Duke begged. Lower thermostats. Don't use appliances. Protect the grid. It's not up to the provider. It's all on us. I'm Steve Woodward, emphatically teed off.
We've got our next weather maker coming in today, tomorrow, and for the day on Wednesday. That means quite a bit of cloud cover, and that's all we're really going to see today. Mid-40s to low 50s the highs. We see some rain scooting into the area tonight with a front, the low in the low to mid-30s. We're not worried about anything frozen tonight. For the day Wednesday, it's rain in the morning. Later in the afternoon, could mix with some sleet pellets and maybe a wet snowflake. Mid to upper 40s the highs. Wintry mix is possible for your Wednesday night. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Hello, old friends.
What do you want to do?
What do you want to do? I want to make a carrot cake.
You couldn't have picked a better date.
Why is that?
Today is National Carrot Cake Day.
Carrot cake.
Carrot cake. Carrot cake.
Oh, don't tell me what's in it. The diet starts tomorrow.
My diet starts tomorrow.
Carrot cake. Is it a dessert or a vegetable?
Does anybody have the time? It's showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It's time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, and look who wandered in. Stephen Woodward is with us this morning. I was told you weren't coming.
Wrong again.
Yeah.
Good morning, LeaderMan. Good morning, everybody, on this triumphant Tuesday in the Sandhills.
Don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on the live audio and video streams. Those are available to you from our homepage at our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com or weeb990.com. Just click on the upper right-hand corner of the page where it says On the Air Listen Live. Click that once and hit the play button below, and if you need to, hit the link to a different browser right above that if your browser's not compatible with what we're doing. But you can get hooked up easily that way. If you want the video of the morning program live, you can get that too right there in the top middle of the page where it says watch live video Mornings with the LeaderMan and replays. Click that and just look for today's date. And you click that and you're watching us live. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. Let's see here. Weather. We are over here.
I think it's either deadly or threatening. One of the other.
We'll survive it. Partly sunny today. 46 for your high. Tonight, rain likely mainly between 1 and 5. Mostly cloudy with a low around 33. So nothing freezing. 1/10 of an inch of rain possible. Wednesday, rain, high of 43. Calm winds becoming northeast around 6. In the afternoon, chance of precipitation 90%. New precipitation amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch of rain. Then Wednesday night, chance of a wintry mix, low of 28. For Thursday, partly sunny with a high of 40. Friday, sunshine 49. Saturday, 50 and sunny. Sunday, 50. That's make it 49 and sunny. Monday, 46 and sunny. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are calm, pressure 3028, dew point 17, humidity 59%. We have Well, let me refresh that and make sure it's up to date. Sunny and 31 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB.
Take a walk up the street. It's a place there called the YMCA. They can start you back on your way. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay.
All right, Village People YMCA. It is 7:37 past the hour. Do you have something to say?
I have been asked to make a special announcement. A reminder that today the Moore County Courthouse courtrooms and offices will
We'd all let
closed.
you in the news.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure I did my part.
Okay.
And the Facebook fearmongers are already out trying to convince us of a incoming wintry mix tomorrow night. But I can tell you, I just drove in. The roads are 90% clear, the major arteries, Midland Road, etc. Unless you're driving a 1995 Lincoln Town Car without anti-lock brakes, you'll be just fine. So I don't know what all the hysteria is about, and yet everything is still closed. So,
well, I yesterday I was cleaning snow off my car, and my little Dodson Beagle Mix darling girl named Honey was out there with me, and I've gotten to the point I don't have to really keep a close eye on her because she stays close by, and when I call, she comes. But I didn't see her, and I called, didn't see her, called some more, didn't see her. Then I looked at my app that's on her collar, and they said she's up at Midland Road. And terror went through my eyes and in my gut. And I went flying up the driveway up there and didn't see her. Couldn't see her. I was looking at the map of where she was, and she wasn't there. I went, oh, God. Somebody's picked her up and stolen her or whatever. But then this white truck came by with flashing lights on it, the emergency lights blinking on it. And I was out there in the median looking for my dog. And he said, did you lose the dog? I said, yes. He says, I got her right here.
oh gosh.
And I said, thank God, man. Thank you for finding my dog.
So little Honey wandered out onto Midland Road?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
She's never done that before.
And hopefully she'll not do it again.
She won't do it again because I know to keep a much closer eye on her whereabouts. It's the nice thing about this app. It tells me exactly where she's at. I got to look in there and see if it's got some alarms that I can set so when she passes the line, it'll go off.
She needs an ankle bracelet like they give the people under house arrest.
Well, perhaps.
So things got a little sticky for Honey, I guess, yesterday.
Well, scared me to death. All right. Well, it's time to punish you a little bit. It's time to play a wonderful Tuesday game. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? The following questions are taken from a standard fifth grade curriculum. Answer 4 out of 5 or you ain't got the sense of a fifth grader. All right, put your thinking caps on because it's time to play. We'll give multiple answers so that you at home can kind of play along in your own environment.
Okay.
All right, you got to get 4 out of 5 pass.
Or you're not smarter than Governor Stein during a light snow event. Okay, here we go.
All right, which one of these following properties is not an example of a chemical change? Is it A, evaporation, B, an explosion, or C, rusting?
Aha. Okay, evaporation and rusting to me are chemical changes. Therefore, I'm going with an explosion.
Evaporation. all you're doing is it's the same chemical, H2O. It's just in a lighter form.
Oh, okay.
Explosion and rusting are all chemical reactions.
My rule of thumb with this game is to go with your gut. So
That's all right. Got 4 more to go. What is 3 to the third power? Is it 9, 18, or 27? Remember, you will go 3 times 3 times 3.
I'll go with 27.
It is 27. What is an antonym for the word happy? Is it glad, gleeful, or sad?
Sad.
It is sad. Antonym meaning opposite.
Meaning ant, as an anti. Yeah.
The sun heats the earth through what? A, energy, B, radiation, or C, transference.
Well, I've been told by the expert that it actually overheats the earth and we're all going to die. Anyway, could you repeat the answers?
Energy, radiation, or transference.
Oh, this sounds so loaded. So loaded. I don't know. Radiation?
It's, yeah, radiation it is. I'm sorry.
Hello.
My bad there.
All right, so I'm still on a roll.
You still got it. All right, here's your last one. How many years did the Revolutionary War last? Was it 1 year, 3 years, or 7 years before Cornwallis surrendered?
Now, all the history buffs at home are going to be like, if he gets this wrong, he's a complete idiot. Well, I understand that. 1 year, 3 years, or 7 years?
Yeah.
7.
It is 7. You can't get squat done in a year or 3 years.
Especially when you're using bayonets.
Not back then, anyway.
You're using bayonets and powder. Yeah.
And I never did understand.
And you're wearing heels with stockings.
In the Revolutionary War, that both sides would line up in a straight line, march toward each other, and then go ready, aim, fire their one shot, and somebody in that line. Now, why weren't they lying on the ground under cover and getting at each other that way? It just doesn't make sense. Well, we have to do it the gentleman's way of dying. Line up in a straight line and hope like hell when none of those bullets hit you.
Maybe we ought to try that in Congress.
I don't know. They just, I'm so tired of a Congress that does nothing except try to oppose anything that Trump's in favor of. They don't care about you, what your needs are, or what you might want. They're willing to protect rapists, pedophiles, murderers, you name it. And in order they protect them, they want to keep them here and chase law enforcement out. I don't get it.
Yeah, there was a rather petulant letter in the Sunday Pilot newspaper, if you can call it that, by a local citizen who's all upset because 2 vigilantes in Minneapolis interfered with federal law enforcement agents and ended up, paying the price. He called them collateral damage. But what he totally overlooked is all the collateral damage that is represented by the dozens, if not hundreds, of innocent Americans who have been raped and murdered by illegal immigrants, which is the whole point of the activity in Minneapolis, is to get those people out of here.
Well, it's a simple way not to get shot. Get out of the way.
I think collateral damage...
No, they want to come out there and get between you and the bad guy, protect the bad guy, and try to disrupt what you're doing, which was your job.
But getting back to Congress, so to speak, I was reminded listening on the way in this morning that our Senator Thom Tillis, Thom, he goes by Thom, Thom Tillis, which rhymes with Dom, as in dumb. He still insists that he's going to oppose voting to nominate the new Federal Reserve Chairman, Kevin Warsh, until Trump drops his investigation into Jerome Powell and his mishandling of funds. Well, if the Federal Reserve Chairman and his people mishandled our money to build a Taj Mahal new building in Washington, D.C., then they should be investigated.
Well,
why are they above the law?
Tillis needs to learn that the nomination needs to be judged on its own merits, not
Of course.
work in something that has nothing to do with it. Jerome Powell, who has taken $2 billion of your money to renovate the Federal Reserve Building, which you just don't know how much money that is. Billions.
To
renovate.
Right. And then they complain about the cost of a privately funded ballroom at the White House.
Yeah.
It's just but the $2 billion for the Federal Reserve, that's fine.
Yeah.
That comes out of this other fund over here, this slush fund.
Okay. Well,
I'm smarter than a fifth grader. That's all that matters.
yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to what we do. Now, this is one of the dumbest things I've heard of this year. 49-year-old man has launched a year of isolation project where he's staying locked inside one room for 365 days. He's 3 weeks in and has been live streaming the whole thing on social media. Here is Skip Boyce announcing his project a couple of months ago. And before I even play it, bear in mind, if they want to know the effects of this, just go to a prison. They got prisoners locked up all day, every day. They don't get to mingle or nothing. They're in total isolation. You can do your study there. You don't need this nut job. But here's what he had to say.
My name is Skip. I'm 49 years old, and I'm starting something today that scares me a little. On January 10th, I'm locking myself into this room for an entire year. I'm doing this because I'm tired of being the version of myself that avoids hard things. One goal is simple. By the end of the year, I want to do one perfect pull-up. The pull-up is the proof, but the real goal is rebuilding who I am from the ground up. This is day minus 70. I'm starting the preparation now.
Yeah, well.
And what does he live in, like a 10,000 square foot house somewhere?
I don't know.
He's locked in his mansion.
Yesterday was Groundhog Day, and Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow, meaning 6 more weeks of winter. We, of course, carried that live yesterday on this program.
Really? I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah. Live as it happened. But in case you weren't here yesterday, shame on you, here was the big reveal.
Now on this February 2nd, Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, prognosticator of all prognosticators, was awakened from his wintry nap at dawn on Gobbler's Knob. We look to the future and not just the past. So I suppose this party could use a forecast. It is my job this February 2 to look to the skies and report back to you that there is a shadow here on my ground. 6 more weeks of winter abound.
I wonder who writes his stuff. It's pretty good.
Well, he had 2 scrolls there, one where he did see a shadow, one where he didn't. And they have what they call the inner circle. They have all these guys up there in top hats and gowns and whatnot on the stage. But there's an inner circle of them
A little cross-dressing. Yeah.
who are blessed with being able to speak groundhog.
Okay.
And they all gather around, listen to Punxsutawney, and then translate it into what he said and then read the right scroll. So that's how it's done, if you care.
Has Phil ever failed to come out?
No, they keep him, I think, at the university is where they keep him. And they bring him out to this makeup of a tree stump.
Oh, so he's not really slumbering in the ground.
While they do hibernate, they do dig down about up to 30 feet to make their cave right. Mm-hmm. And they really go into low heart rate and low breathing and all that.
Wow.
And the reason they think they come out then is because it's kind of halfway between fall and summer at that point. Mm-hmm. And the length of days trigger their hibernation rate, and they start to wake up so they can start staking out their claim to find a mate.
Well, that's the part we never get to.
Then they mate and go about their merry ways.
Wow, maybe we should follow up on that part of the story.
The male does not stick around to raise the offspring. What were they called? They are pups.
Really? The male doesn't stick around?
Uh-uh.
Oh. Interesting.
Google Translate helped to deliver a baby in New Jersey. A woman went into labor in the back seat of her car, and her husband ran into the police station looking for help, but neither of them spoke English. Two cops used Google Translate to coach her through the event. Here they are.
As we were running across the street, we called the ambulance. We weren't really expecting that, especially the baby coming out when we opened the car door. So we couldn't really say much, but I just told her to breathe and push, and she did, and out came the head, and I held the head until the rest of it came out. Then the whole baby came out, and I was just holding it. We got some blankets, put a blanket on the mom, and then the baby on the blanket, and then covered it with another blanket, just to keep it warm. We didn't have much of a choice. We just had to do what we had to do, and we're just glad everything worked out. So this is what we signed up to do. We signed up to help people in a time of need, and that was, she was definitely in a time of need there.
And then they asked for their documents. They didn't have them, and they're on the next flight to Guatemala.
No, they asked for the real ID and said, you got to have one.
Yeah.
Go get your birth certificate. Of course, you called in to get your birth certificate, and they treat you as though you're a nuisance. You didn't hear my birth certificate.
I did, actually.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how amount of crap you go through.
Are there any
I sent in
updates?
the one thing they wanted, my driver's license. And they said, I have one on file. I just send it when somebody needs it. And because it was outdated, they wouldn't take it. I'm like, pieces of shit. So then it wasn't enough pixels on there. I mean, y'all just go out of your way to piss everybody off, don't you? You ever heard of serving the people? And of course, the Vital Records place isn't the one that decides on your birth certificate, your paperwork. It's a different company that decides all that crap. And guess what? The different company's main job is to piss you off.
And what's the status? You're still waiting for the documents?
I got to resubmit a driver's license.
Oh.
Again. Well, I've been working on this for 6 months.
Wow.
And they charge you $257 friggin' dollars. By the time it's all said and done, the Vital Records place charges you $200, and then the people to get your document and pass on it charge you $57 more. All for one little paper. Last time I ordered one, it cost me $25.
And now you're going to have to pay for an online course on pixelation, I guess.
Well, it's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. You leave anything to government, and they will foobar it beyond recognition. Last night...
No kidding.
I guess Seth Meyers' the only one working. Here were his two worthless jokes.
It was Groundhog Day, and Punxsutawney Phil predicted 6 more weeks of winter when he emerged from his burrow and immediately shattered. Amtrak last week unveiled a limited edition so-called tracksuit inspired by its next-gen Acela fleet, not to be confused with the New Jersey Transit tracksuit, which is just a tracksuit.
Okay.
I always have to talk up here because I have no
range.
Bells below.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, I guess 6 more weeks of winter. That means that more county schools will be closed indefinitely. So.
Yeah. Rosanna Arquette says everyone's been mispronouncing her name for 5 decades. She says it's Rosanna, like Anna in Frozen. Now you tell us, does this ruin the song from when one of the guys in Toto was dating her? Well, they recut it, but it sounds like a Rush job. Here is the remake of
Me Too All the Way. Oh no. Yeah, Me Too All the Way. Oh no. Yeah, Me Too all the way.
See what I mean?
Yeah. It's like having John Fetterman singing backup.
Yeah. Okay.
You're listening to radio. You can also stream our app for the same price. Free.
Yeah. It's about the only thing in the world to a consumer that's free.
Well, that was a nice public service announcement.
Let's see. Got one more of those little snippy things.
You're listening to radio. You know these clowns show up every day to entertain you for next to nothing? Because they love doing it.
The next to nothing part's true.
Yeah. Oh, I hadn't noticed.
I know. You have to come out of your mansion every day and come over here.
Yeah. Cross over the DMZ into Southern Pines.
A video is making the rounds of a naked man on a tram tour at Universal Studios in Hollywood. It took park security around 15 minutes to deal with the man and get the rest of the tour out of the situation. Here's a quick drop from The Simpsons that pretty much summarizes this.
Where are my pants?
You threw them out the window in a fit of passion.
Okay.
Where did that come from?
The Simpsons.
So the man was naked in where at Disney World?
Why do they think we want to see that?
No, why did he think?
Yeah.
Was it?
I guess it had some kind of sexual meaning to him.
Was it Hunter Biden, perhaps?
I don't know. Depends on where you got him between naps.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Hunter, not Joe.
Just days before the Olympics are to begin, a Spanish figure skater found out that he can't do his Minions-themed routine due to copyright issues. Felonious Gru. Do you have a comment on that, my friend?
Life is full of disappointments.
Okay.
Well, I was expecting something in the Spanish tongue, but you never know.
And Chuck Negron, one of the founders and lead singer of Three Dog Night, died yesterday at his home in Studio City, California, at the age of 83. Here's a quick montage of him singing.
Easy to be cold. Just an old-fashioned love song playing on the radio.
All right, coming up on 8 o'clock, all your news, sports, and weather starts now. We'll see you on the backside of this.
We've got our next weather maker coming in today, tomorrow, and for the day on Wednesday. That means quite a bit of cloud cover, and that's all we're really going to see today. Mid-40s to low 50s the highs. We see some rain scooting into the area tonight with a front, the low in the low to mid-30s. We're not worried about anything frozen tonight. For the day Wednesday, it's rain in the morning. Later in the afternoon, could mix with some sleet pellets and maybe a wet snowflake. Mid to upper 40s the highs. Wintry mix is possible for your Wednesday night. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. The House is gearing up for a vote today on ending the 4-day-old partial government shutdown. Majority Leader Steve Scalise says there's been a whole lot of horse trading going on.
We always work till the midnight hour to get the votes, and you never start the process with everybody on board. You work through it. And you can say that with every major bill we pass.
Scalise says President Trump has been actively involved in the process.
Obviously, the president really wants this. The president's going to still be negotiating on the remaining homeland piece. But in the meantime, we want to make sure our troops are paid. We want to make sure we get the rest of the bills that are all identical to what we passed out of the House back a few weeks ago through to the president's desk.
The government, except for the Department of Homeland Security, would be funded through September. DHS would get 2 weeks' worth of funding while lawmakers debate ICE reforms. New York City's new Democratic Socialist mayor facing a barrage of criticism, and it's not only because mountains of rat-infested garbage been piling up in the streets.
Several people have died in New York during the recent cold snap, and hypothermia is suspected of playing a role in the majority of cases. Critics say Mayor Zohran Mamdani's emphasis on voluntary shelter placement leaves vulnerable people exposed during dangerous weather. They argue that the broader use of enforcement in voluntary intervention, especially for those with severe mental illness or addiction who refuse shelter, might have saved lives. Bob Agnew reporting.
Every Homeland Security officer on the ground, and that includes ICE agents, being issued body cameras. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says it starts in Minneapolis and will subsequently go nationwide. Ukrainian President Zelensky says Russia has launched another major attack on Ukraine, this time using 450 drones and 70 missiles. On Wall Street, Dow futures up 20 points, NASDAQ futures ahead 136. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had a lot of credit card debt and it stressed me out. But what I thought was a solution turned out to be a problem. I kept hearing ads about debt settlement that seemed too good to be true. And actually, it was. When I called, they told me to stop paying my bills. That didn't sound right to me at all, so I hung up. Later, I found out that debt settlement is bad, real bad. Then I learned that there is a right way to pay off your credit cards. It's called a debt management program from the great team at Trinity. Trinity had a plan. In the end, I paid off my bills, I saved thousands, and I even improved my credit score.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-990-6976.
Elon Musk is combining his space exploration venture and his artificial intelligence business into a single company.
Mr. Musk said the deal marks a new phase in the mission of SpaceX and XAI. He described it as the next book, not just the next chapter. The announcement could also support his ambition to place data centers in space. They would be used to handle large amounts of AI computing. Mr. Musk, the largest shareholder in SpaceX, has been streamlining his businesses ahead of a potential stock market listing. The timing could coincide with a rare planetary alignment and his birthday.
The BBC's Michelle Fleury. French prosecutors have searched the offices of Elon Musk's social media platform X, part of an investigation of alleged wrongdoing, including spreading child sexual abuse images and deepfake images. News and analysis at townhall.com. A suspected hazing death is under investigation in Arizona.
A Northern Arizona University student has died after a night of drinking at an off-campus fraternity event, leading to the arrest of 3 fraternity members and an investigation by the school. The 18-year-old male student was found unresponsive at a home by police officers Saturday after bystanders performed CPR but were not successful in reviving him. Police say the student had attended a rush event for the Delta Tau Delta fraternity Friday night. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Waymo's global expansion plans are getting a huge boost as the robo-taxi pioneer has raised another $16 billion to fuel its plan to go worldwide. Waymo is now valued at about $126 billion, and it has come a long way since it started as a moonshot project within Google 17 years ago. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time. With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
Moore County used to stand for peace, community, and tradition, but Senator Tom McInnes sold us out. Short-term rental takeovers, big apartment complexes, and traffic schemes that threaten our historic roads. Tom McInnes used to be an auctioneer. Now he's auctioning off Moore County to the highest bidders, the big developers. Our quality of life is on the market. We're not against growth, but growth must be smart, local, and planned. Moore County is not for sale. Senator McInnes works for developers. Elect Ray Daley to the North Carolina State Senate. He'll work for you.
Paid for by Ray Daley for North Carolina Senate.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
With me now is retired Air Force Colonel Andy Orander. Of course, Andy, you had some recent pain. Tell us about that as well as what you decided to do about it.
Yeah, I had some issues with my L5 and S1 joint, walking around like Walter Brennan, in a lot of pain. And I went to a chiropractor. It was Dr. Wright at Pinecone, and she did this thing called Pressure Wave, and I highly recommend it to everybody.
Was it easier than you thought, or was it a painful experience?
It was non-painful, non-invasive. It's something I never really knew about.
And did it work, and or would you gladly recommend it?
Absolutely, 100% it worked. I'd never heard of it before, and I recommend it to everybody I meet who have any kind of pain, arthritis.
If you're suffering from pain, why not schedule a free, no-obligation appointment with Dr. Sharon Wright at Pinecone Medical Center? Call 910-420-1911 or visit on the web at pineconemedicalcenter.com.
My name is Tony Keith of Keith Hardware in Carthage, North Carolina. I'm the third generation of a family-owned business.
And I'm Taylor Keith of Keith Hardware in Carthage, the fourth generation. We have been in business for almost 90 years.
We sell live bait, crickets, minnows, and worms, fishing tackle, nuts and bolts and screws by the piece. You can still come in and get nails weighed out by the pound, or ones or twos, however you'd like.
The guys, they know what they're doing. You don't have to ask for service. You tell them what you need. If they ain't got it, usually they can conjure it up.
Keith Hardware has been a tradition in this town for as long as I've been in business, and they run a good business and they're good people.
I came in with 2 pieces of plumbing. I handed it to this guy, and he took off the back, picked it up, and brought it back. Their knowledge is invaluable to me.
With Keith Hardware, I rent the building from them next door. And Tony and Ginger are doing an excellent job. I'm proud of them.
Come visit Keith Hardware today at 207 Monroe Street in Carthage.
We're just an old-fashioned hardware store.
If there was a better way to handle your finances, when would you want to know? Tune in to White Horse Financial Solutions, Saturdays at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 1 p.m. here on WEEB.
Looking for a dealership that truly puts you first? Visit Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai, where your satisfaction is our top priority. Whether you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, or your current car just needs a little TLC, we've got you covered with the Pinehurst Advantage Plan. You'll get 24/7 roadside assistance. That's 5 years of unlimited coverage, including towing, battery jump starts, and flat tire changes. Plus, with any major service, enjoy a complimentary loaner car so you're never left stranded. With our 100% customer satisfaction guarantee, if you're not completely satisfied within 72 hours of purchasing your new or pre-owned vehicle, just bring it back. It's no wonder for the 3rd year in a row, we've been voted Best of the Pines in 2024 for Best Dealership Service Department. Ready to experience the Pinehurst difference? Visit us online at pinehursttoyota.com or pinehursthyundaiονline.com. Call us at 910-692-2424. Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai, where quality meets customer care.
When trying to add the perfect window treatment becomes overwhelming, contact the professionals at Comfort Made Blinds. With quality brands like Graber and their expert advice, measuring, installation, and their warranties, all you need to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy your new window treatments. To get your Graber products and others, schedule your free measurement by calling Comfort Made Blinds at 910-692-5500 or visit the showroom at 195 Pinehurst Avenue next to Main Street Glass in Southern Pines. Mention this ad and take 10% off your next purchase.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Most interstates and highways across the state have been plowed, but some roads are still covered in snow. NCDOT spokeswoman Kim Diener tells NCN News.
The eastern part of the state
state, they don't see 12 inches of snow very often. It may take a little longer to clear those roads. They have just as hard-working NCDOT workers as we do. Our crews have just worked nonstop.
In the mountains, road crews continue to work secondary roads across the weekend winter storm that dumped several inches of snow. This man lives in Buncombe County and tells WLOS in Asheville.
I mean, they're okay. We're kind of used to that. Wish there was a little more salt on the roads.
President Donald Trump plans to nominate Kevin Warsh to the board of the Federal Reserve as a governor and the next chair of the central bank. If confirmed by the Senate, Warsh would succeed Jerome Powell, whose tenure as chair ends in May. NC State economics professor emeritus Dr. Mike Walden tells NCN News.
The president is very bold in his views. He has been critical of the Fed, its interest rate policy. And the fact that he's appointed a new chair doesn't mean the policy is going to change. That chair gets one vote.
President Trump is hosting Colombian President Gustavo Petro at the White House today. Stacey Lynn has that.
The talks are expected to focus on security cooperation, migration, and trade, as well as efforts to combat drug trafficking in the region. Officials say the meeting comes as the U.S. looks to strengthen ties with key partners in Latin America amid ongoing regional challenges.
The American Red Cross is experiencing a nationwide blood shortage. The nonprofit says that blood supplies have dropped 35% in the past month. The Super Bowl teams have arrived in the San Francisco Bay Area. Patriots quarterback Drake May took questions from reporters at a press availability. He was asked about his consistency.
Teammates, just having, learning them, getting to, go to work with them each and every day, and that's, knowing what your teammates are going to do.
You're listening to NCN News.
If you are on Medicare, scammers may target you to steal your identity. Remember, Medicare will never call you asking for personal details. The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medicare Patrol Program is here to protect you from fraud and provides you with knowledge to stay safe. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Now, all across North Carolina, it's Carolina Newsmakers. Each week, leaders from politics, education, business, and the arts join Don Curtis to share insights and ideas shaping our state. Hear interviews that go beyond the headlines with guests who know North Carolina best. Listen on the radio stations throughout North Carolina and on demand at carolinanewsmakers.com.
Power company customers have been using a lot of electricity recently. This man tells WLOS in Asheville.
Yeah, we all need to do our part and be conservative to help our neighbors out.
Well, I think it's a reasonable request to have us power down.
Savannah Guthrie's mom, 84-year-old Nancy, is still missing at this hour in Arizona. Police believe she was taken against her will from her home. CBS News' Jonathan Vigliotti.
The sheriff's office escalating their language from abduction to now include kidnapping, which carries the possibility of extortion. It's now been 48 hours since Nancy Guthrie was taken from her home behind me in the middle of the night. 48 hours where she has not had access to life-saving medication.
From the world of music, CBS's Steve Kathan tells us about the death of a key member of one of rock and roll's most successful bands.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
That song, One, was the first of 10 top 10 hits for Three Dog Night and lead singer Chuck Negron in a string of success that stretched from 1969 to 1974 and included 3 #1 songs. His publicist says Negron died at his home in Los Angeles from complications of heart failure and COPD. He was 83. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Correspondent Michael George reports on another benefit from a diabetes medication.
New research shows the drug semaglutide may reduce the risk of heart failure for people with type 2 diabetes. A study published in JAMA looked at nearly 10,000 participants. Patients had a lower risk of heart failure if they were taking oral semaglutide compared with patients taking a placebo. Heart failure is a common complication of diabetes.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Say goodbye to the sunshine. Our next weather maker's rolling in today, and we're not going to see the sun that we saw yesterday. Should be cloudy this afternoon and milder with highs in the mid-40s to low 50s. Tonight, some rain rolls in. It stays overcast with a low in the low to mid-30s. And at this point, I don't think we're going to see anything frozen for the day tomorrow. It's cloudy late in the day and into the evening. We'll see some rain mixed with some sleet pellets, maybe some wet snowflakes. The highs in the mid to upper 40s. A wintry mix possible Wednesday night. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sandhills area, we have sunny skies and 33 degrees. Humidity 55%. Dew points at 19. Winds should come and pressure is at 30-28. It is 8:15 straight up. Let's take a look at your Sandhills news for this Tuesday morning. Firefighters, large animal crews, and even a pony helped rescue a horse from an icy pond late Monday afternoon after it broke through the frozen surface behind a rural Moore County property. The horse had reportedly wandered out during feeding time and walked onto the surface of the icy pond before the ice gave way, dropping the animal into frigid water up to his belly. Though the horse was not in danger of drowning, hypothermia and was an immediate concern. Temperatures in the Sandhills have hovered below freezing for 2 days, leaving ponds iced over across the countryside, and water temperatures at dangerous levels. Plus, hitting that cold water will suck the breath right out of you. Firefighters from nearby Cypress Point Fire and Rescue arrived to find the horse shivering and struggling to gain footing as it bumped against sheets of ice. Rescuers used long poles to break the path toward the shore while working to keep the animal calm. Meanwhile, as firefighters continued their work, a pony joined the rescue efforts. The horse's owner bought a companion pony and brought it to the bank of the pond to encourage the horse to keep moving. Four Hooves Large Animal Services also assisted in the rescue. Justin McLeod, who co-owns Four Hooves, arrived on scene and told the Sandhills Sentinel that the organization had handled several cold weather calls in recent weeks as winter conditions continued to strain animals and owners alike. With the ice cleared and a steady coaxing from the rescuers and the pony, the horse finally climbed out of the water. It was immediately wrapped in animal blankets to help warm its body and prevent worsening hypothermia. The horse was visibly shaking as it was taken to safety. Southern Pines Equine responded to the scene to assess the horse and provide additional care. The horse's owner, relieved after the rescue, called the outcome a beautiful story. And taking a look at closings today for Moore County. Moore County governmental offices will open at 11 a.m. today. Moore County landfill will open at 8 a.m. The Aberdeen and Hillcrest collection sites will be open at 8 a.m. All other collection sites will be closed and reopen on Wednesday. Library branches will be closed today. Moore County Transportation closed today. Activities and facilities at the Senior Richmond Center will be closed today. Activities at Moore County Parks and Recreation are canceled for today. And citizens can keep up with current events happening with Moore County Public Safety by following them on Facebook at facebook.com/Moore County PS. That's your latest Sandhills news this morning from the Sandhills Sentinel. And of course, as always, if you need more information, just go to sandhillssentinel.com to retrieve it. It is 8:19. Here comes your sports.
NCN Sports, I'm Tony Rixby. Caleb Wilson had 22 points, 9 rebounds. Number 14, North Carolina held off Syracuse 87-77 after building a 32-point lead midway through the second half. Syracuse shaved that deficit to 6 with 42 seconds remaining before the Tar Heels closed it out from the free throw line. Coach Hubert Davis.
Winning is hard and winning is a blessing, and it should be celebrated. And I'm really proud of this team over the last 2.5, 3 weeks, how they've reacted and how they've responded. And I told them we have to celebrate this win because it was a really good win against a very good Syracuse team.
Charlotte Hornets won their 7th straight game last night as LaMelo Ball overcame an early head-to-head collision with Coach Charles Lee, scoring 22 points, and the Hornets came from 22 down. Lee says it was something to be proud of.
At halftime, we talked about this was going to be like a character game, and we're going to see how we respond, and we've built a ton of resiliency over the last month or so, and I love a lot of the things that we were doing, and we were just going to see if we could kind of figure it out.
India Navarre rebounded her own missed free throw in the closing seconds to secure number 25 North Carolina's women's 61-59 win over NC State. Tar Heels coach Courtney Banghart.
Obviously, India sealed the win there. End games you could practice them all you want, but until you're at Reynolds and until you're playing in a rivalry game, and that's not really how we drew them up. And we practiced them all week because we haven't had a game in 8 days. But you know what? We found a way to win, and this rivalry seems to have a lot of these kind of games. And this was our night.
North Carolina winning in Raleigh for the first time since 2019. Arizona remains the unanimous number 1 pick in the AP Top 25 College Men's Basketball Poll. Michigan jumped to 2nd place. UConn, Duke, and Illinois round out the top 5. You're listening to NCN Sports.
Practicing a championship way can happen 100% of every day, in the pool and when traveling highways. A law of sportsmanship includes taking the high road when going away and returning home. Buckle up your seatbelt in the front and back seats. Every seat, every time. Each time you click it counts as a winning ticket. Demonstrate your championship drive through your safety practice, a freestyle by any measure. This message was brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
This season, make the choice to protect what matters most, you and your family. Choose to get vaccinated for the best protection from respiratory illness. Talking with your provider about vaccines, hand washing, and staying home when sick keep your family protected from the flu, RSV, and COVID. Defend yourself. Get vaccinated to protect you and your family from respiratory illnesses this season. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find yours today.
Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says preparations for Sunday's Super Bowl remain unchanged despite questions about potential ICE enforcement actions. Speaking to reporters, Goodell clarified the game has always been classified as a Tier 1 level event, the highest security designation.
Security is obviously one of the things we focus on the most. It's a Tier 1 level event that involves unique assets at the federal level, state level, and the local level, all working together. I see no change in that in the preparations for the Super Bowl.
The Seattle Seahawks take on the New England Patriots in that rematch of the 2015 Super Bowl, 6:30 Sunday evening from Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Coming up tonight in hockey, the Carolina Hurricanes will be at home with the Ottawa Senators. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Thank you for making us a part of your day. We're Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard around the world at talk973.com.
We deserve a judge with the experience to get it right. Every case, every day. Beth Tanner, experienced, dedicated, fair. She knows how to apply the law to protect children in crisis while keeping our communities safe. We need a proven district court judge. That's Beth Tanner, experienced on the bench and fair in every case. For justice that protects your constitutional rights and keeps our neighborhoods safe, vote Beth Tanner March 3rd.
Paid for by Beth Tanner for judge.
Since 1994, Lee Christian School offers academic excellence rooted in God's Word. Students grow not only in knowledge, but in godly character and action. We teach, lead, and coach on the firm foundation of Scripture. As Proverbs 1:7 reminds us,
"The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction."
Our mission is to develop the whole student spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially, instilling biblical principles across academics, fine arts, and athletics. Join a school where students are challenged to stand out for Christ. As Romans 12:2 says,
"Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind."
Discover the difference at Lee Christian School. Visit leechristian.org today.
Building or purchasing your dream home, adding a new fence, or maybe you're purchasing or dividing land. If so, precision matters. Before you break ground on that next project, contact DZT Land Surveying first. Whether it's residential or commercial, our fully licensed expert team provides accurate, reliable surveys to ensure your land is marked right the first time. We handle everything from property boundaries, construction layouts, to infrastructure projects. So schedule your quote by calling 910-420-1325 and avoid future issues. Trust DZT Land Surveying for all your survey needs.
When Mother Nature unleashes its fury, will your roof hold up? With Creed & Garner Roofing, the answer is yes, and the experts agree. They've just won the 2025 Platinum Preferred Contractor Award from Owens Corning for product excellence, providing what their customers already know. Creed & Garner installs roofs that last. From repairs to full replacements, their certified team delivers unbeatable quality and peace of mind. That's why they've been in business for over 40 years in the Sandhills. Call Creed & Garner Roofing at 910-944-0520 for a free estimate.
The Temple Theater proudly presents Side by Side by Sondheim, a dazzling musical celebration of one of Broadway's greatest legends, Stephen Sondheim. From the wit of Company, to the passion of West Side Story, to the magic of Into the Woods, this unforgettable review brings Sondheim's most iconic songs to life, all in one spectacular evening. Running January 22nd through February 8th, Side by Sondheim is packed with soaring vocals, clever lyrics, and the kind of musical storytelling that only Sondheim can deliver. Whether you're a longtime theater lover or new to Broadway, this show is pure joy, laughter, and heart, performed by an incredible cast right here at Temple Theater. Get your tickets today at templeshows.org or by calling the Temple Theater box office. That's Side by Sondheim, January 22nd through February 8th, only at Temple Theater.
In Moore County, like most places, a good reputation means everything. At Cooper Ford, it's been earned one customer at a time. Locally owned, award-winning, and known for honest pricing and certified service. Owner Aaron Cooper, recently named 2026 Distinguished Citizen of the Year, leads with the same values he was raised on: service, integrity, and community. That's why generations of drivers keep coming back. Shop online today at cooperford.net. Cooper Ford, always working hard to be your hometown dealer.
Everyone has one, a to-do list. Don't let yours become overwhelming. Your friendly Olmsted Village hardware family is just around the corner, ready to assist. The team is on duty every day off of Highway 211 in Pinehurst Olmsted Village Shopping Center. Convenient parking awaits you near the front door. Inside, we'll handle your projects affordably and efficiently. Olmsted Village Hardware carries a broad spectrum of tools for home and garden, including a lineup of Ego electric chainsaws, blowers, and hedge trimmers. Ego products are more powerful than gas options. Do-it-yourselfers are inspired by our selections of must-have tools for the home workshop, including time-tested brands such as DeWalt, Master Mechanic, and National Hardware. Whatever is on the list, Manager Joe and his staff are standing by to help 7 days a week. And don't forget to ask about our bargains of the month. Short on time? No problem. Shop with us online and schedule delivery.
Sandy Ridge Memory Care provides all the amenities of home while providing personalized resident care and a dedication to a safe, secure, and comfortable environment for your loved one. Providing care for dementia and Alzheimer's population has been our specialty for over 20 years. Research has proven that a loving, structured, and intimate home environment successfully fulfills the needs of both the one affected by dementia and Alzheimer's, as well as the family caregivers. As one of the largest memory care facilities in North Carolina, we feature 3 separate secure units within our community. Each wing is designed for individual needs and preferences. Call for an appointment or just drop in to tour our facility and discover for yourself the care that sets us apart. Located only minutes from Moore County and surrounding areas, Sandy Ridge Memory Care is the right place at the right time. On Bowman Road in Candor or online at sandyridgeliving.com. Call 910-974-6000.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
This is Steve Woodward teeing off. When snow falls in North Carolina, tyranny and arrogance rise.
After last Saturday's non-storm failed to threaten accumulation records, Democrat Governor Josh Stein flooded social media with messages. Stay off the roads, Stein lectured. But the politician's lockdown mentality never fails to clash with reality. Absent a weather apocalypse, medical facilities must remain operational. Surgeons and nurses and technicians are obligated to show up. While schools notoriously close even for snow flurries, small businesses on thin margins can't hunker down and wait for a green light from the governor's mansion. Restaurants and cafes sow seeds of goodwill when they open doors amid winter conditions, and staff appreciate income and tips. Several Sandhills eateries never closed last weekend. That will be remembered. And let us not forget Duke Energy's response in recent days. The same Duke Energy that raised residential rates as of January 1, again, to accommodate rising costs of unreliable, renewable, and solar energy, issued a request on Sunday. Reduce energy use, Duke begged. Lower thermostats. Don't use appliances. Protect the grid. It's not up to the provider. It's all on us. I'm Steve Woodward, emphatically teed off.
We've got our next weather maker coming in today, tomorrow, and for the day on Wednesday. That means quite a bit of cloud cover, and that's all we're really going to see today. Mid-40s to low 50s the highs. We see some rain scooting into the area tonight with a front, the low in the low to mid-30s. We're not worried about anything frozen tonight. For the day Wednesday, it's rain in the morning. Later in the afternoon, could mix with some sleet pellets and maybe a wet snowflake. Mid to upper 40s the highs. Wintry mix is possible for your Wednesday night. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Hello, old friends.
What do you want to do?
What do you want to do? I want to make a carrot cake.
You couldn't have picked a better date.
Why is that?
Today is National Carrot Cake Day.
Carrot cake.
Carrot cake. Carrot cake.
Oh, don't tell me what's in it. The diet starts tomorrow.
My diet starts tomorrow.
Carrot cake. Is it a dessert or a vegetable?
Does anybody have the time? Showtime.
Hearts go astray, leaving her when they go. I went away just when you needed me so. Filled with regret, I come back begging you. Forget, where's the love we once knew? Open up your eyes, then you realize here I stand with my everlasting love. Need you by my side, girl, to be my bride. You'll never be denied. Everlasting love from the very start. Open up your heart, be a lasting part of everlasting love.
Good morning. Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It's time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams along with Stephen Woodward this morning. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, LeaderMan. Good morning, everybody, on this triumphant Tuesday in the Sandhills.
Don't forget, we are being heard and seen around the world on the live audio video streams. They are available to you for free at our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com or WEEB990.com. Upper right hand corner of every page has an icon that says on the air, listen live. Click that once and you'll be listening that quick. Just hit the play button when it flips to another page. And if it's still not working, click that link right above the button and it'll take you to a browser that will work with you. And if you want our video stream, right there in the middle of the homepage, it says watch live video and replays of Mornings with the LeaderMan. Click that and hit today's date and you're in business. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. Well, let's see here. Weather. Thank you very much. Partly sunny today, 46 for a high. Rain likely tonight, a low of 33. Then for Wednesday, more rain on tap, high of 43. Wednesday night, wintry mix possible, a low of 28. No accumulation. Thursday, sunny and 40. Friday, sunny and 49. Saturday, sunny and 50. And Sunday, sunny and 49. Right now, around the Sand Hills, winds are calm. Pressure is 30-28, dew point 19. Humidity 55%. It is sunny. And let me refresh this. 35 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, 8:36, 36 past the hour on this Tuesday. Glad you made us a part of your day. Hope we don't disappoint. All right, well, let's get back to what we do. And we talk about some serious entertaining here. Let's get with it. What do you say?
This is not headline news. Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow. And you know what that means. Nothing. Today is National Missing Persons Day. No, not the band. The new fat in breast and butt enhancement is fat from cadavers. Which makes sense because so many of these women are already dead inside. Yes, people are having their breasts and butts enhanced with fat from cadavers. Because why donate your body to science when you can donate it to your favorite female rapper? And Kim Kardashian is dating F1 driver Lewis Hamilton. They're a good pair, since he's used to riding something with a lot of mileage. This is not headline news.
In other not headline news today is Feed the Birds Day. Please let me know if you'll celebrate it, so I'll know who to blame when my car is covered in pigeon poop. The Kennedy Center will undergo a 2-year renovation. During that time, it will be completely empty, so no change. Half of Americans will be obese by 2035, so I guess we know who Jelly Roll gave his extra weight to. A series of small earthquakes rattled the San Francisco Bay Area on Monday morning. Fortunately, they were so tiny that no one spilled their $14 lattes. A truck crashed in Wisconsin, covered a highway in beer kegs. Chuck Schumer says it's the last time he uses Grubhub to deliver lunch. Kid Rock will headline Turning Point USA Alternative to the Super Bowl halftime show, which means a tough decision will have to be made by that one person who is a fan of both Bad Bunny and Kid Rock. The first photos of the upcoming Beatles movie is out. The cast looks so much like the real thing that Yoko Ono is already trying to ruin it. Jordan Hudson will throw Bill Belichick a party to make up for his Hall of Fame snub. And she's inviting all her friends from Study Hall. I don't know why people were so scandalized by Justin Bieber's performing in nothing but boxers and socks at the Grammys. My neighbors see that every morning when there's a package outside my front door, minus the decent physique. A heavyweight boxer lost his toupee during a fight. I haven't seen a boxer come unglued in the ring like that since Mike Tyson. And a one-armed golfer in the UK made a hole-in-one. So, hey, give him a hand. And that's your not headline news this morning.
Okay, well, that's great. Lord knows it's hard enough to make a hole-in-one with both arms. So
really?
I salute him, because I've never done it.
Oh, let's see. The day that music died is observed on the anniversary of the day that 3 of the best up-and-coming Americans rock and roll musicians were killed in a plane crash in 1959. Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper, J.P. Richardson. Here's a little bit of one of them.
The day the music died, I started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die.
All right. Never did like that song. Bye Bye American Pie.
Really?
Stupid song.
Well, it's got some inspirational. Oh, so you referenced that because today is the anniversary.
Yeah.
Of the February 3rd incident involving a plane crash near Clear Lake, Iowa, which also claimed the life of the pilot of the aircraft, as you might imagine, Roger Peterson.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. We've heard all the bad news. Let's hear some good news.
Good news is good news.
I have good news on good news on good news.
Good news, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get to some good news.
That's what I got for y'all today.
Okay, so what's the good news?
And the good news is...
Let's hear it.
All right, a 13-year-old boy in Australia is being hailed as a hero after making a superhuman swim to save his family. He was in a kayak, and his mom and 2 siblings were on paddle boards. The wind blew them out to sea last Friday. He tried paddling back to the beach to get help, but his kayak took on water and sunk. What's a guy to do? So he swam for 4 hours. Here is Austin talking about rescuing his family from the sea there.
I just said, all right, not today, not today, not today. I have to keep on going.
They say he swam 2.5 miles. Thanks to him, they're all okay.
Wow, what a story of gallantry and bravery.
Yeah. And our stand-up comic salute goes to Larry the Cable Guy, talking about sex robots and vacuum cleaners.
So I was on the internet, and you can buy a daggone sex robot now. $10,000. What is this world coming to? $10,000 for a daggum sex robot. You believe it? $20,000 if you want one that doesn't talk. That's hilarious. That's funny. I'm hearing a lot of this for the first time myself tonight, all right? I think I got a gay vacuum cleaner. It's got 3 settings: small pile, large pile, and Gomer pile. I know, it's a gift. It's a gift. How have I not won a Grammy Award by now, all right? Yeah, that's top-notch. That's top-notch material right there.
All right, Larry the Cable Guy.
We'll take your word for it, Larry. A gay vacuum cleaner. That's a new one.
What is a luxury you can never give up once you have experienced it?
Private aircraft travel. Flying in a private jet.
I would say air conditioning. Never give it up.
That's still considered a luxury?
Yeah, I mean, all through school, right through college, I never had an air conditioner running in any of my classes.
Yeah, well, I remember some very hot classrooms, too. That's true. But we were kids, so we didn't really know any better.
They had, schools made out of concrete, which will act as what they call a TRUMB, T-R-U-M-B, a TRUMB wall that will absorb heat and leaves things feeling cooler. And at night, it releases the heat back. Keep your nights warm. A couple of things that people said they can never give up once they've experienced it. Having your own place.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Keeping your house at a temperature that's comfortable.
Now, don't tell Duke Energy. They want you to turn that thermostat down to save their bacon.
Never had one of these, so I wouldn't know. Decent noise canceling headphones for air travel.
I've never used those either. Because if the pilot comes on and says brace for impact, I want to be able to hear that.
Well, might not upset you so bad if you didn't hear it.
Well, there's that. But
I
want to have time to text the airline and tell them how much I despise them before we go.
Business class on flights over 8 hours.
Yes, that's a must.
Hiring movers.
Total must.
Yeah. Don't try to move it yourself because you never get to the bottom of the pile. Very little commute, being able to walk to work or working remotely.
Mm-hmm.
A good bed and a good pillow. Turning unnecessary phone notifications off. There is a setting for that.
Yeah.
Other luxuries you can never give up once you've experienced it. Not having to look at prices while buying groceries, an electric toothbrush, living in a high trust society. We used to have that.
Yeah.
We used to have that. When I was a kid, man, people didn't lock their cars.
No.
They didn't steal your bikes and stuff like that. Because there was a grocery store nearby, a little mom and pop grocery store nearby our house when I was a kid. And my mother would let me, if she wanted something from there, she, of course, sent me. But I wasn't allowed to ride my bike past a certain point because she thought the road was too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So you leave your bike there at the intersection and you walk down to the store. You don't have to worry about somebody stealing it.
No, of course not. And these days, of course, you can barely get from the, in some American cities, you can barely get from the restaurant or the store to your car without being held up.
Yeah.
Although that's getting cleaned up thanks to the Trump initiatives.
Yeah. A housekeeper once or twice a month. How about once a week? A garage or a dishwasher. Can't give them up. This one is kind of questionable. A bidet toilet.
Well, that's if you're a Europhile. You only encounter those generally in European hotels.
And one person said, ceiling fan for the bedroom, swimming naked, automatic transmission, and cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah.
Well, that's not really a luxury. I guess it's the type of cheese that would... I had some delicious brie the other day on a sandwich, and that is a fine, fine cheese.
Well, a lot of the Super Bowl commercials are being leaked or put out there for viewing.
Yeah, that's a new trend.
Some people are saying that the Xfinity ad is the best. I disagree. So far, I hadn't seen anything to beat the Budweiser commercial.
Yeah, I caught a little snippet of that after you had mentioned it, and boy, that does look like one that will tug on your heartstrings. Especially if you like horses to begin with.
No, it's a shame you're such a wonderful dog person, because Honey definitely senses it.
Yeah,
so
Honey
won't leave you alone this morning.
That's right. I've got me a new Honey. Sorry, Honey. The adult Honey.
Anyway, the Xfinity ad features Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, and an ad about Jurassic Park and how things could have gone a lot differently. Remember the scene when Samuel L. Jackson announces that the park has gone offline and everything goes haywire from there? Well, in this version, an Xfinity tech is on the scene and he fixes it with no problem. And the icing on the cake, it was directed by Tanika Waititi,
I'll take your word for it.
the genius behind Jojo Rabbit, What We Do in the Shadows, and the last two Thor movies. Anyway, I still like the Budweiser commercial. You can Google it and see it right now. It is really good one.
I don't really understand this trend because in the not too distant past, one of the appeals of watching the Super Bowl, especially if you weren't a big football fan or you just happened to be going to a Super Bowl party, the appeal was the anticipation of the Super Bowl ads.
Yeah.
And now they're all over the place, 2 weeks before the game. So there will be no anticipation whatsoever. I don't get that. If I'm the advertiser and I'm spending, what do they spend for a 30-second or a 60-second ad?
I don't know.
$20 million or something? If I'm paying that kind of money, I would like to build up a little bit of drama before I start, sending it all over the social media platforms. But I must be missing something here.
All right, well, let's move along. Wait a minute. Get back into it.
And now it's time for
Random. Facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's an island made of recycled mollusk shells off the coast of Senegal, if you care. The lyrebird can mimic almost any sound it hears, including human voices and chainsaws, which is probably alarming for its neighboring creatures. Not every Model T was black. For the first few years of production, it came in gray, green, blue, and red. A $1 bill doesn't live as long as you might think, according to the Federal Reserve. Each buck lasts about 7.2 years. Both $5 and $10 bills have shorter lifespans at under 6 years, while the average $100 bill lasts, how long would you guess?
An average $100 bill?
Yeah.
5 years?
24 years.
Really?
And there's a word for animals with partial pigment loss, full albinism is the conjugal absence of any pigmentation or coloration, but let's see if I get this right. Lucium is a different rare condition where some patterns or colors remain. And those are your random facts for today. All right.
Okay, I had the research team get on this. In 2026, the average cost of a 30-second Super Bowl ad will be $8 million.
For a 30-second.
Right. I guess that's the...
Of course, they got some 15s and 10s.
I guess 30 is the sort of the gold standard.
Yeah. Well, that's how much you say?
$8 million.
$8 million. Well, I'm not spending that much.
And as a faithful...
And they'll spend millions producing one.
Of course. And the cost of just the celebrities that appear in them. Of course, the horses and the Clydesdales probably don't have a contract, but, they're cheap labor. But
not necessarily, because I saw the documentary on the Clydesdales, and they live a very, very pampered life.
Yes, their caretakers are well compensated.
Yeah. I saw one video where Clydesdale were in an arena and marching around for the audience, and one of them tripped and the whole line went down on its side, and of course everything came to a stop then, but evidently this has happened before, and they came out there and very methodically started unhitching them so that each one by one could get up and no harm. But they all have their own train stall to ride in wherever they go.
Talk about your first class travel. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have it so bad.
Well, the big question mark, as one of our faithful listeners has just texted me, is do any of these $8 million per 30 ads sell the product? In other words, will you see any spike in the sale of Budweiser products? Maybe or maybe not. I don't know.
Well, I would say yes, because you take Bud Light, when, what's his name, Mulvaney showed up in it,
Dylan
Mulvaney showed up in it, and sales dropped dramatically, like 80% of it.
That's because bars just took the beer off the menu.
Well, you said, does advertising work? Well, it worked there, just in
the
reverse
other
order.
Right, exactly. Well, we'll see.
So what?
Well, when it comes to beer, people are set in their ways. So a commercial's not going to turn a Stella drinker into a Bud Light drinker. It's not going to happen.
Well, I'm sick and tired of all the politically correct crap. I can tell you that.
Well, who isn't?
Some things you need to know today so we don't sound stupid. Puxatawny Phil came out of his hole yesterday and saw his shadow 6 more weeks of winter. Melania documentary earned over $7 million at the domestic box office, making it the biggest non-music documentary debut in over a decade. This after Amazon spent $75 million to buy and promote the film. Now, it's got a long ways to go, but you got to remember, a lot of theaters did not have the movie. And I think a lot of it is due to political reasons.
Of course. But
that they didn't run the movie.
And many of us, like yours truly, who don't really like movie theaters,
and it came in third,
will wait to watch it, on streaming. So there's more revenue to come from that.
Yeah, and the first runs on any movie doesn't make money, but eventually they will.
But it drives the left crazy because this thing was beautifully produced and very well received.
Yeah. Anyway, if they take their hate for Trump out of their heart and put the damn movie on the screen, more people could watch it and judge for themselves.
Oh, the women on the left, they despise Melania.
Yeah.
Because she's everything they will never be.
Yeah. The Wall Street Journal reports that a royal family member in Abu Dhabi bought a 49% stake in a Trump cryptocurrency company for $500 million 4 days before the 2025 inauguration. And also, I read yesterday that the Wall Street Journal, it was the New York Times, will be dropping its sports section.
Really? Well,
really?
That's not entirely...
All those super liberal people, they don't watch sports.
Well, the Times launched...
And I'll tell you something else.
What?
People who are into sports get all they want online long before it can be printed in a newspaper.
Well, several years ago, the Times launched a digital product called The Athletic, which is essentially their digital sports section.
Yeah.
Although it tends to be very woke. But man, back in the day, the New York Times had some of the best sports journalists in America.
Well, they're going to quit it. I don't know the exact start date. Jeff Bezos' owned Blue Origin has paused its space tourism program for at least 2 years. Dozens of earthquakes shook the Bay Area yesterday morning, centered around the town of San Ramon. They had around 30 quakes, the biggest clocking in at 4.2 on the Richter scale.
Wow. I wonder if Nancy Pelosi was knocked to the ground.
Made her teeth chatter.
Yeah.
All right, well, so it goes for this Tuesday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9, for a Hump Day Wednesday already. In the meantime, be sure to support the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airwaves, because they're the core of our economic life here. When you give them first crack at your spending dollars, 68% of it stays here in our economy. When you go to the mega stores, where that money's all shipped out to Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Arkansas, and China. So shop local, support local. Let's be our own solution to any economic issue. All right, that's it for me, the LeaderMan, Nick and Colt, the dogs, and of course, Honey. We'll all see you this afternoon at the Dog Park.
Well, bye.
When I come back, you'd better be laughing.
So, what have we learned? Heck, I don't know. But this is one crazy show. Bye now.
Cut! That's it. Go home, everybody. None of this ever happened. Well, y'all come back now, you hear?
I think we're through here.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much, man. That's pretty much all I got, man. Okay, class dismissed. Rock on!
Well, let me tell you something. Everything comes to an end.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Every Homeland Security officer on the ground, including ICE agents, are being issued body cameras. Homeland Security Secretary Noem says it starts in Minneapolis and will eventually go nationwide. President Trump says it's fine with him.
They generally tend to be good for law enforcement because people can't lie about what's happening. So it's generally speaking, I think 80% good for law enforcement. But if he wants to do that, I'm okay with it.
The president insists that he will not drop the Justice Department's investigation of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell.
Even though 2 Republican senators say they won't support the president's Fed pick unless the criminal investigation into Powell is resolved, the president said there are no plans to back off the probe. He said the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia will take the investigation to the end. Powell was subpoenaed in relation to his congressional testimony last June, but he contends the probe amounts to intimidation over interest rate policy. Greg Clugston, Washington.
China's predatory trade practices starting to ruffle some feathers in Latin America, whose markets are being flooded with low-priced imports, especially autos and e-commerce goods.
The surge in imports is a significant challenge for local manufacturers, and some countries are fighting back to protect their own industries. Chinese e-commerce platforms like Temu are rapidly expanding sales in the region, offering cheaper alternatives to local products. Chinese car brands are also making inroads, especially in Brazil and Mexico. Bob Agnew reporting.
Disney's going to be getting a new CEO. Josh D'Amaro succeeds Bob Iger. D'Amaro currently leads the company's parks and resorts division. President Trump says India agrees to stop buying Russian oil as part of a new trade and tariffs deal with the U.S. Wall Street head of the opening bell. Dow futures 6 points higher. NASDAQ futures are up 141. More on these stories at townhall.com.
NCI News, I'm Mike Riley. Transportation crews have been hard at work clearing major roads around the state from this weekend's snowstorm. There were hundreds of traffic accidents over the last 3 days. Sergeant Marcus Bethea of the North Carolina State Highway Patrol tells NCI News.
We really had them spread out statewide. Our coast was hit pretty hard with snowfall. Of course, the Piedmont Triad area, Davidson County, Lexington got a very plentiful amount.
On the coast, Gordy Ewer is an NCDOT maintenance engineer in Carteret County and tells WITN this about the roads.
This is absolutely an historic storm that we're going to be talking about for years to come.
Farther down the coast, New Hanover County Emergency Management Director Stephen Still tells WECT that brine and salt did their job.
It's actually worked. We didn't have that early onset of rain that reduces brine's ability to freeze, so it went straight estimate to how open the roads are right now. I think they did great work.
New comments from President Trump are adding to concerns among Democrats that he may try to interfere with this year's midterm elections. Speaking on a conservative podcast, Mr. Trump suggested Republicans take over the voting in multiple states. CBS News Chief White House Correspondent Nancy Cordes.
Elections, of course, are run by the states, not the federal government, and there has been no evidence of widespread voter fraud, a fact that has been proven in court case after court case where Trump has escalated those claims.
CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn has the latest on the disappearance of the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie.
Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos tells CBS News he suspects foul play.
I believe she was abducted, yes. She didn't walk from there. She didn't go willingly.
On a happier note, for many, Valentine's Day shopping is now much more than just romance. That's the finding from a new survey from the e-commerce platform Lightspeed Commerce. You're listening to NCI News.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year?
The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshIIP.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S.
Has your driveway, parking lot, or road seen better days? Contact Seven Lakes Contracting and Asphalt Services for all your paving project needs. Family owned with over 30 years of experience, they specialize in asphalt paving and overlays, crack sealing and repair, seal coating, striping, and pothole patching. Call Seven Lakes Contracting and Asphalt Services at 910-673-1318 for your free estimate today. And all military and first responders receive 10% off. That's 910-673-1318.
Say goodbye to the sunshine. Our next weather maker's rolling in today, and we're not going to see the sun that we saw yesterday. Should be cloudy this afternoon and milder with highs in the mid-40s to low 50s. Tonight, some rain rolls in. It stays overcast with a low in the low to mid-30s. And at this point, I don't think we're going to see anything frozen for the day tomorrow. It's cloudy late in the day and into the evening. We'll see some rain mixed with some sleet pellets, maybe some wet snowflakes. The highs in the mid to upper 40s. A wintry mix possible Wednesday night. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
This hour of the Chris Plant Show is sponsored by Seven Lakes Contracting and Asphalt Services. Call 910-673-1318 for your free estimate.
Ah, yes, it's the opening salvo of our Tuesday. There it is, and the trigger didn't pull. Something like that, but that's quite all right. You don't need to pull the trigger on everything. We're not Democrats, after all. A very happy Tuesday to you, and welcome back. We are at 888-630-9625. Hey, Bill and Hillary Clinton in the news today. They have reversed course. They've flip-flopped. They have agreed through a team of very highly paid Washington lawyers to testify on Capitol Hill since they were subpoenaed and everything, and they refused to respond to Congress because don't you know who they are? They're above the law. Well, they're beside the law. Or maybe they're underneath the law. I know they're beneath contempt, so they might be beneath the law as well. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton agreed to testify in-house in the Jeffrey Epstein inquiry. It's an inquiry. There's a query going on there, and it's going to be the indoor query fest. Only because they were threatened with contempt of Congress charges, which they don't really care about much because they're beneath the law or something like that. So we've got that for you because that's an update since we had gathered yesterday even. The Clintons, through their team of attorneys, oh, sure, we'll testify on Jeffrey Epstein, probably not on camera and not to be transcribed and not to be released, and cutting deals through their team of lawyers. We've got all that stuff, yes. And also, CBS News had just hired a new expert. They had just hired a new expert because they wanted to use him on the television, and then things changed lickety-split because CBS News expected to cut ties with newly announced contributor. He was going to be a contributor over links to, stand by, Epstein. Some of the emails that have been, because the Democrats, they wanted everything released. And hey, here's another 3.5 million documents. Just in case you want to look through 3.5 million documents, that might be something you could do. And apparently some of the Democrats have already released naked photographs of underage girls. Naked because what else would they do? They're Democrats, and they're nothing if not pervs. They're definitely pervs. Release some photos of underage girls because the Democrats, they wanted to release everything and make it all public. But back at CBS News, a guy named Peter Attia, Attia, Dr. Peter Attia. He's a wellness guru. And some of the things from his emails with Jeffrey Epstein would be difficult to say out loud here on the radio. But he's, I'll get to that a bit later, talking about lady bits and the nutritional value. Let's just leave it at that for the time being. But now it turns out CBS News, under Barry Weiss, the new boss there, Barry Weiss, they're going to cut ties with him, even though they had just announced ties with him about a week ago, because the 3.5 million Epstein files that were released on Friday, kind of embarrassing for him. If you search for his name, then Peter Attia's name comes up all over the place in his emails with Jeffrey Epstein, and some of the things that he said, not as flattering as you might like them to be when you're in court or on television or anything like that. But it's tough out there because there are a lot of Democrats in the Epstein files, and they thought they could just release the thing and then go through and search, is that Control F Trump, right? And now you're looking for Trump's name, and every time you see Trump's name, the New York Times does a front page story on it. Trump kicked Epstein out of his house in Florida. Trump kicked Epstein out of a party in New York. And that's all they've got years and years later with the Democrats. But we got that going. I'll update you on that. Also, the House of Representatives, just the Republicans in the House of Representatives, they moved to tee up passage of the shutdown ending package. I got your shutdown ending package. And hey, listen, the Democrats are shutting down the government again, and it's a shakedown. It's they're racketeers, and they just want billions of dollars to fund their friends so they can buy houses on lakes and on the ocean. And this is what they do. They're very, very corrupt people. But the House GOP moves to tee up passage of shutdown ending package. The Democrats, they don't want a shutdown ending package. They want money. They want a gun to the head of the baby, and they want to steal the rattle and what else do babies have? The baby things. They want to steal everything because that's who they are and that's what they do. And the Republicans, they want to build in legislation that would, and I've got the SAVE Act, which would require anybody that's going to vote just in federal elections, not in state or, local Democrat elections, want to require everybody to be able to establish that they're U.S. citizens and that they're legally entitled to vote. And the Democrats will lay down in front of trains to keep that from becoming law, because they want people that are illegal aliens and legal aliens, as long as they're not U.S. citizens. They want non-U.S. citizens to be able to vote, and they're going to fight to the death the Lizard King, Chuck Schumer, and the rest of the reptiles that he runs with. Pretty amazing stuff. Schumer nukes GOP push for Jim Crow era voter ID. This is everything is, first of all, you're Jim Crow. Every Jim Crow law was a Democrat Party law. And you're the slave driver here, Schumer, the Lizard King. But isn't this amazing? Schumer, oh yeah, it's a Jim Crow era law. No, it's not. Every homeless person has an iPhone in Washington, D.C. Everybody's got photo ID. Every homeless person living under a bridge has photo ID. Because, you need it for the welfare and all that stuff. And everybody's got it. But Schumer's whipping out the old Jim Crow thing. And Republicans never come out and say, hey, Schumer, where's your bullwhip? Since you guys are the Bull Connor and the slave drivers, the plantation owners, you guys fought the Civil War to keep slavery, and now you're accusing other people. It's the old Russian playbook. Accuse the other guy of doing exactly what you're doing. Isn't that amazing? So we've got that. Yeah, it's the Jim Crow era because, and I'll explain what this is. I've got some good audio for you on this too, because the Jim Crow era law he's talking about is that people who are not U.S. citizens should not be allowed to vote in the United States. And if you say illegal aliens shouldn't be allowed to vote, even though Democrats give them driver's licenses in, 19 states. They give non-citizens driver's licenses. And you'll never guess, in 15 of those states, they automatically register them to vote when they get driver's licenses. Not that the Democrats are corrupt criminals who are violently and criminally insane. Never mind that. But the Democrats are demanding that non-citizens be given driver's licenses and automatically registered to vote so that on Election Day, Democrats can steal elections from our constitutional republic because they're not. Also, Don Lemon, he was on the television last night. He won, and did you hear that he got a standing ovation at the was the Grammys. He went to a party and he got a standing ovation from a bunch of cross-dressing, mentally ill, probably illegal alien gang members because the Democrats like that. But Don Lemon recounts arrest designed to instill fear. That's instill fear in who exactly? But we've got Jimmy Kimmel last night because, and where else? He went on other TV too. These are the greatest days of his life, Don Lemon, because he got arrested. You know, it's like a guy can't get arrested around here. Don Lemon can. But he's he's really the target of terrible things. It's the end of our democracy. And in the meantime, did you see the nice Daily Caller reporter lady was violently attacked and beaten and kicked to the ground by a mob of left-wingers who literally a man came, and it's a Daily Caller reporter. She had her big cameras, not her iPhone like Don Lemon, but big cameras with video and telephoto lenses, and she was recording the riots and the Democrats being insane. And somebody said, "Oh, she's with the Daily Caller." So they violently attacked her and beat her and kicked her to the ground. And interestingly, she will not be invited onto the Jimmy Kimmel show. She'll not be a hero or a martyr of the left because the fascist left are violent and they attack women and their men attack women and beat them. And that's all fine because they're Democrats. Isn't that true? Also, this terrible story about Savannah Guthrie on NBC News, the Today Show. And it is an increasingly horrible story. It really is. And I got to say, Savannah Guthrie always seemed like a pleasant enough, smiling person. She's not, I don't think. I don't watch a lot of NBC Today Show. I'm busy. I got a couple of full-time jobs, but the Savannah Guthrie always struck me as a nice, pleasant, smiling person who wasn't a screaming radical lefty. I could be wrong. There might be instances of said behavior, but Savannah Guthrie always seemed like a pleasant kind of celebrity interviewer, and she smiled and baked cookies and things like that. Great stuff. But it's a terrible story. Her mother missing from her Arizona, Tucson area home and over the weekend as of Sunday morning. And now the reports are pretty grim. I've got to say, blood found in Savannah Guthrie's missing mom's Arizona home. And it's worse than that because there are signs of break-in. There are signs of violence. There is blood. None of these are good signs. Savannah Guthrie's home was likely, Savannah Guthrie's mom was likely snatched from her bed in Arizona home as she slept. The police have concluded, and it's leaking out to the LA Times and elsewhere, but it is a grim-looking story at this point. I've got to say, there is a lot of reason to be pessimistic, let's say, when it comes to the outcome. And what is it? Now it becomes a mystery, of course. And what is it? I've got to say, I heard someone just talking about it generally and saying, well, the police will be talking to neighbors and family and people that she knows she was supposed to be in church. She's always in church every Sunday morning. When she didn't show up in church, some of her church-going friends called the family and said, hey, why is your mom not here? She's always here on Sunday morning. Said, gee, I don't know. I thought she was going to be at church. They went to check if she's at home. She was not at home. Savannah Guthrie's sister, mom's other daughter, had taken her out to dinner on Saturday night and taken her home, and everything was fine. And then the next morning, everything is not fine, and it looks like the house is broken into. Looks like signs of bad things, and then blood. None of this is positive. None of that is good, and I feel bad for Savannah Guthrie. Obviously, a horrifying scenario. 84-year-old mom, 5'5", and she's at home in her nice house, and now she's missing, and it's a horror story. It's out of Hollywood, and honestly, everything you see doesn't look good. But one of the words I heard mentioned was caregiver. You're going to talk to the neighbors. You're going to talk to the people at church. You're going to talk to the people at the restaurant the night before, where the other daughter had taken her out to dinner, taken mom out to dinner. But it's a terrible story. I've got to say, not looking good, not looking positive. Also, Roger Goodell, he grew up in Washington, D.C., the NFL commissioner. NFL, listen to this, Roger Goodell. NFL to reevaluate approach after one minority coach hired this cycle. How many minority coaches were supposed to have been hired this cycle? What's a cycle? But they got that. And is the Michael Piercy sent me this morning, and I said, well, is the one coach hired this cycle an Asian female lesbian? Because that'd be a threefer. That'd be good for a lot of stuff, I think. And amazing. Yeah, Roger Goodell. They're concerned that they only hired one minority coach in this cycle. And, you're supposed to hire, it's DEI, supposed to hire more minority coaches, not majority coaches. You don't want those majority coaches. You need minority coaches. I think Asian women, LGBTQ NFL coaches, there's a real shortage of Asian female LGBTQ coaches suffering from dwarfism. We're going to need some more of those on the sidelines for NFL games. Otherwise, we're going to have to reevaluate. We've got that. We are at 888-630-9625. Join the fun.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show.
Attention investors, this affects you. Silver prices are exploding, with silver exceeding $100 a troy ounce for the first time. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 to get our free gold and silver investment guide. Plus, you'll also receive a free copy of economist Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem, when you call now. Here's why it matters. Silver is a high liquidity, tangible, and affordable precious metal investment that serves as an industrial commodity and a store of value. It often outperforms gold during economic upturns. If you have an IRA or 401k, you can act now. Roll over a portion into a tax-advantaged gold and silver IRA backed by physical metals you actually own. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 and find out how you can get a tax and penalty-free rollover for a portion of your retirement funds for 2026. Results vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text TEAR to 369369. That's TEAR to 369369. TEAR to 369369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LUCK for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LUCK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LUCK for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
When trying to add the perfect window treatment becomes overwhelming, contact the professionals at Comfort Made Blinds. With quality brands like Graver and their expert advice, measuring, installation, and their warranties, all you need to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy your new window treatments. To get your Graver products and others, schedule your free measurement by calling Comfort Made Blinds at 910-692-5500 or visit the showroom at 195 Pinehurst Avenue next to Main Street Glass in Southern Pines. Mention this ad and take 10% off your next purchase.
From the WEEB Community Calendar.
For more than a century, Scouting in Pinehurst has played a vital role in shaping the lives of young people here in Moore County. Join Scout Troop 7 and Pack 7 in celebrating 100 years of scouting in Pinehurst on Sunday, February 15th at the Fair Barn from 12 to 3 p.m. This event will feature interactive displays highlighting scouting's 100-year history in the area and a chance for guests to race Pinewood Derby cars on an electronic track and enjoy barbecue from White Rabbit Catering, available for advance purchase at $15. For more information, go to pinehursttroop7.org.
When we were young, we could always count on our parents for just about anything. And now as they age, the time has come for our parents to count on us. Griswold Care Pairing refers only highly qualified caregivers for just a few hours of care to 24/7 live-in service. These caregivers are compassionate and experienced, so put your trust in Griswold Care Pairing.
Call me, Robert Bonville, at Griswold Care Pairing of Pinehurst, 910-420-2360, or go online to griswoldcare.com/Pinehurst.
If there was a better way to handle your finances, when would you want to know? Tune in to White Horse Financial Solutions, Saturdays at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 1 p.m. here on WEEB.
Sometimes you just want to say,
Silence! Lay down!
Do you have somewhere to be? I've traveled all across the fabric of space-time.
97.3 FM and 990 AM. WEEB. We've got you by the ears.
I want to get to the SAVE Act, as it's called. Everything has to be an acronym. The Republicans want to pass the SAVE Act, and the Democrats don't. And I want to get into that and explain that, because the Democrats, it's all about stealing and corruption, because they're the left. They're the left. They're not liberals, and they're not on Team America. Team America was on the television last night. I had to watch some of it because it's so funny. You know, Team America World Police with the puppets. All right, let's go to the telephones, Michael. Let's see. Let's go to Jay, calling from the Garden State of New Jersey. JJ, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey.
Hey, Jay.
Ago after I called Alfredo Cuomo, if you remember, and, you know, I called him again today and tried reasoning with him, but I think I'm going to stop doing that because, you know, Fredo is far too gone to, you know, be reasoned with or understand much about anything, because he's he has the blinders on, the liberal Cuomo family blinders. But, you know, as it goes for the Democrat Party, you mentioned, you know, the Jim Crow, and the Jim Crow Act is the same exact thing that's happening now, because, you know, in those days the Democrats knew that it was better to have these people, black people, not voting because that would hurt them, so they didn't want them voting. Now they know it helps them to have them voting, so they want all foreigners, all, you know, everybody, all dead people to vote, because they know that the only way they can win is with fraud. And if the Senate does not pass the SAVE Act, you know, to eliminate fraud and, you know, secure our elections, the Republicans will have an uphill battle. They don't really deserve to win, honestly, if they don't get that done.
Well, they're not the best fighters, the Republicans. They're not the best fighters in the world. They don't stand their ground and throw elbows the way that the Democrats do. And the Democrats have the Lizard King, Chuck Schumer, scaly reptilian that he is. And, of course, Nancy Pelosi, who was many things, but she was ferocious and vicious. And I got to say, Jay, one of the benefits that the Democrats have is that, you know, the New York Times, the Washington Post, ABC, and CNN all say that you're doing a great job, and that the Republicans are shutting the government down because Chuck Schumer says, oh, yeah, the Republicans want to shut the government down because they want to fund ICE, you know, and the Democrats say, we don't want to fund ICE. We don't want to fund the Department of Homeland Security. We don't want foreigners to have to show that they're U.S. citizens in order to vote. and the Democrats are registering millions of non-citizens to vote by way of the driver's licenses that they give out in, I think, 19 states to non-citizens. And Jay, what are we going to do about these people?
Yeah, the Democrat Party is a party of terrorists, of violent criminals, of traitors, and voting for the Democrat Party in this day and age is an act of evil that people must repent for, because God judges those who act with evil. And the Democrat Party and all its voters, to be honest, are all engaging in genocide.
They're not the party of good.
Sometimes you just want to say,
you're going to have to learn to drive a real car.
A honk's the angriest sound a car can make.
When people like you drive down the street, everyone is actually laughing at you and calling you pathetic. You do realize this, right?
There's traffic. Nobody's moving.
Re-entering traffic.
97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB. We've got you by the ears.
JB Short Carpet One is your locally owned Benjamin Moore paint retailer. Come in today and discover the quality and durability of Benjamin Moore paint in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. At JB Short, you'll get one-on-one expert advice for contractors and homeowners alike. No matter how big or small the job is, trust Benjamin Moore paint and your local Benjamin Moore retailer. JB Short Carpet One. JB Short Carpet One, Highway 1 North between Southern Pines and Vass, or on the web at shortcarpet1.com.
From start to finish, we get the job done right. Professional and caring, you're comfortable day or night. We're the local family, you can count on us. Right there, right on time, the ones you come to trust. 4 Seasons Heating and Air, get comfortable with us.
4 Seasons in West End on Highway 211, 910-235-0606.
Brick's Wood-Fired Pizza in the Kohl's and Hobby Lobby Shopping Center has updated their menu. Many of their salads, pizzas, and wings are still available, plus several new ones. Now their fresh pizza dough is made with authentic Italian flour from Naples, Italy, the birthplace of pizza. So experience genuine Italian flavor. Brick's is the fun place for family and friends. Dine in or sit on the patio? So jump into the fire at Brick's Wood-Fired Pizza in the Kohl's and Hobby Lobby Shopping Center. Brick's Wood-Fired Pizza is open daily from 11 a.m.
Is your land lost under a jungle of brush and overgrowth? Call the pros at Tar Heel Brush Mulching. With over 20 years of experience in land management, we turn wild, unusable land into clean, manageable space fast, affordable, and done right the first time. Whether it's for farming, hunting, or just reclaiming land, our high-powered mulchers and brush cutters chew through the roughest terrain. Trust the team that knows land management and has the gear to master it. For a free estimate, call veteran-owned Tar Heel Brush Mulching at 910-638-8318.
Dealing with the aftermath of a car wreck can leave you feeling stressed. At Ken's Body Works in West End, you'll get collision repair services you can rely on. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, Ken's Body Works specializes in collision repair, body work, custom paint, dent removal, and much more. No job is too big or too small. Ken's certified technicians will have your vehicle back to its factory look and specifications. Call 910-235-0486 for a free estimate today. That's 910-235-0486.
Up to 40% off appliances and 12 months no interest going on now. Hi, this is Catherine Phelps, owner of Appliances and More, where creating relationships is our business. We now have financing options available with no interest for 12 months and deep discounts on all home appliances. Remember, low price guarantee, and we price match any in-stock local competitor. So please shop your locally veteran-owned Appliances and More, featuring Caraloha in the Town and Country Shopping Center, Aberdeen. See store for details.
With me in the studio is Sue Maxwell, who is a patient at Pinecone Medical Center, where Dr. Sharon Wright practices chiropractic medicine. Now, Sue, you went there with pain. What kind of pain was it, and what did you do about it?
Yes, I had arthritis in my cervical spine, and I had pain that radiated out through my shoulder, down my arm. I went to see Dr. Wright, and she did the pressure wave therapy on me. Through treatments and everything, I actually eliminated the pain in my spine and in my shoulder.
So did the pressure wave work as advertised?
Oh, my goodness, it did. Yes, I am pain-free.
And would you recommend it to your friends?
Absolutely, and I have. I have told many friends.
If you're suffering from pain, why not schedule a free, no obligation appointment with Dr. Sharon Wright at Pinecone Medical Center? Call 910-420-1911 or visit on the web at pineconemedicalcenter.com.
Say goodbye to the sunshine. Our next weather maker's rolling in today, and we're not going to see the sun that we saw yesterday. Should be cloudy this afternoon and milder with highs in the mid-40s to low 50s. Tonight, some rain rolls in. It stays overcast with the low in the low to mid-30s. And at this point, I don't think we're going to see anything frozen for the day tomorrow. It's cloudy late in the day and into the evening. We'll see some rain mixed with some sleet pellets, maybe some wet snowflakes. The highs in the mid to upper 40s. A wintry mix possible Wednesday night. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB. We've got you by the ears.
The left is comfortable lying and stealing and cheating. I don't know if you're aware of that, but it's not every liberal and it's not every Democrat voter, but it's every leftist. It's the story of the 20th century. And for Democrats trying to follow along, we're now in the 21st century. We're about a quarter of the way through the century already, and the Democrat Party is en fuego. Not en fuego enough, though. We haven't had a Democrat self-immolation in a while. You know, the Democrats have been self-immolating at the Supreme Court on Earth Day and the Israeli Embassy in Washington and the Israeli Consulate in Atlanta and the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas and the Trump trial in New York, to name just a few self-immolations by the Democrats killing themselves in protest because of their mental illnesses. Let's go back to the phones before we get to the audio, and I've got some audio I want to share with you about the SAVE Act, which the Republicans would like to pass, and the Democrats will blow up the world rather than checking to see whether voters are actually eligible to vote because they're U.S. citizens, and the Democrats will stop that at all costs. They're going to dress up like ladies, I think. Let's go back to the phones, Michael. Let's go to Marco, calling from Springfield, Virginia. Marco, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to comment on Chuck Slimy and how him and his lefty Looney Tune people in Congress and Senate, no voter ID. Anybody watching Newsmax will see a map every night where every state that Kakala and Mr. Magoo won just happened to be no voter ID or no ID at all. And I think these people are getting so used to saying, hey, you don't need an ID, and if you're not a citizen, you can still vote. Well, how ridiculous is that getting? I mean, try to go into any other country in the world as an American and not have an ID when they have elections, and tell me how that works out for you.
Well, to do anything, you have to have an ID. You want to buy a train ticket. You want to get on an airplane. You want to absolutely anything. Your ID is needed everywhere. And they always claim, like, oh, you can't vote because black people don't have ID. This is something the Democrats have been saying for a couple of decades now. Black people are incapable of getting photo IDs. Now, I mean, again, every homeless lunatic just released from a mental institution living under a tree has a photo ID and probably has a cell phone. In fact, I got to tell you, Marco, I've talked about this. Go down to Georgetown and you'll see homeless people sitting in the doorways of businesses and of private residences, and they have signs that say Venmo me money. Venmo. So
It's incredible, Chris. I tell you, they come over here, no ID. They vote in our elections. They're given credit cards. They got put up in hotel rooms. And, we have a president who's actually cleaning this mess up. He's trying to do what's best for the country, and people are painting him as a villain. ICE. I mean, they're just doing their job. It's something that should have been done years ago. It's just pathetic how they've been demonized. And I don't know, these Democrats, they've gotten to the point, like you say, they're not Democrats, they're the left.
Yeah.
You know, there's no distinction anymore. It really isn't.
It's the international left, and the international left has had it in for the United States of America for decades, for generations, and now they have the Democratic Party and the news media in the United States. It's like an invading army, Marco.
It truly is, you know, and I'm looking at New York. I'm looking at the governor elections that is going to be coming up here. You've got a good man that's going to be running from Staten Island. He wants to clean up that mess at Hochul. And I'll tell you, if they reelect Hochul, I'm writing that state off completely. I'm going to come from that area of the country, and I just can't believe that whole Northeast corridor. It's like it's a virus. It truly is.
Yeah.
A lefty virus.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, I appreciate what you do every day, Chris, because you know what? Unless you're getting the facts, and that's what I keep telling people, not this baloney that you hear and the speculation, it's called facts. And people just don't want to deal with facts anymore, you know?
Yeah, I know. I've picked up on that, too. You're absolutely right. And the madness. Well, what do you hear? I've got this Congresswoman Kat Kamek from Florida was on the television early this morning in the 5 a.m. hour, and I said, "Wow, she's got a couple of things that I want to share with people there." So I'm gonna do that now. Marco, a career United States Army man, and you're right. And I got to tell you, you know, Kathy Hochul is the governor of New York, and Zohran Mamdani as the mayor of New York City. Honestly, they sunk their own battleship, didn't they?
They sure did. You know, you get the government that you voted for, right? You get a representation you voted for. Well, how happy are you going to be with that? I mean, just wait until the weather gets warmer. I mean, the only thing that's keeping them from really going crazy is the fact that they're snowed in, okay? Yeah. Wait until the summer hits, and then we're really going to have some problems. Los Angeles is another situation. It's like this anti-ice stuff. I didn't watch the Grammys. I don't even... I mean, those people don't have a brain in their head. Thank God that they're gifted, you know, musically and acting-wise, because they don't have a brain in their head. And
only a couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Right. And, you know, the shutdown of the Kennedy Center, you want to talk about people shooting themselves in the foot? The opera moved to Lisner Auditorium. Well, who's going to go see an opera at the Lisner Auditorium? Nobody. The National Symphony, you're going to be in trouble. There's no place to perform. So, you know, go ahead and keep, you know, anti-Trump this and anti-Trump that, and you know, pretty soon you'll be without a job and without an income. So go ahead. You know,
fanaticism has its price. They'll be proud. They'll be proud of themselves, and they might be living under bridges and cardboard boxes, but they'll be proud.
That's true, and they'll still be lefties.
I tell you, Marco, where do you hear the audio come from these people about the hey, maybe we should check and see if people, the SAVE Act, see if people are U.S. citizens and they're eligible to vote. And the Democrats are absolutely not. And I got to tell you, Marco, it reveals everything you need to reveal about the Democrat Party and elections. And I want to share this stuff with you now because it tells you, you know, honestly, Republicans are like, well, we don't want people who are not eligible to vote to be voting in our elections. And the Democrats scream at you that you're a racist and that you're Jim Crow when, of course, they passed every single Jim Crow law Democrats enforced every Jim Crow law. The Democrat Party is the party of racism and slavery and the bullwhip and the plantation and other. But let's go. Thank you, Marco. Good to hear your voice. Marco and I, we know each other. We're old friends. And now let's go to President Trump. He's the president of the United States. And he was asked, hey, what about this government shutdown? You know, in Congress is shutting the government down. What's up with that, President Trump?
I spoke with Speaker Johnson. I spoke with Leader Thune. And I think they're pretty close to a resolution. That I spoke with Senator Schumer numerous times. And I don't think they want to see a shutdown either.
Yeah, a little too optimistic because Schumer is the lizard king, and he's not an honorable man. He's not a decent man. He's not an honest man. The Speaker of the House, as the President just mentioned, is Mike Johnson.
Do you think you'll be able to adopt a rule? There are some conservatives saying they want the SAVE Act. They're not happy about it.
We all want the SAVE Act, but we also look at the reality of the numbers here, and we passed the SAVE Act twice in the House. We'll pass it again. We'll do that, but this is a funny package right now, and I don't think we need to be playing games with government funding.
It's a funny package now, and we're don't think we have. So the Speaker seems to be giving up on the SAVE Act, and the SAVE Act again would require that if you're going to register to vote in federal elections, you have to be able to establish that you're a U.S. citizen and entitled to vote. And the Democrats are furious about that. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen to vote, which is the law of the United States. Of course, Chuck Schumer is the lizard king.
The SAVE Act is dead on arrival in the Senate, and every single Senate Democrat will vote against any bill that contains it.
Every single.
It's outrageous that House Republicans would even consider putting in the SAVE Act in legislation to fund the government.
Knowing that we'll shut the government down because we don't want our elections to be more legitimate. We don't want scrutiny. And Trump undercuts Fox News. Trump undercuts GOP push to attach SAVE Act to shutdown bill as conservatives threaten mutiny. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson faces pressure to add the voter ID legislation that Schumer has vowed to block in the Senate. And again, this goes back to the Democrats saying, well, black people can't get an ID. This is what they say. Black people are not capable of, competent enough to have a driver's license, or if you don't drive, as many people in big cities don't, you have to have a voter ID. Just an ID. And it shows that you're not an illegal alien gang member from Venezuela. And the Democrats are outraged about that. No, it's dead on arrival. And, that's what they want is the elections to be dead on arrival. Now, Congresswoman Kat Kemick is from Florida. She is a Republican, and she's talking about this morning in the 5 a.m. hour on the Fox News channel about the government shutdown and the SAVE Act. And she wants the SAVE Act. Here is Florida Republican Representative Kat Kemick.
What we're hearing is that today the shutdown will end. It looks like the votes are there for the final package, which is good because we really don't want to shut down, but we also don't want to see all of these ridiculous earmarks for DEI programs and gender mutilation. That's something that's been a sore spot in this appropriations process, but that has been necessary in order to get some of the Democrat votes.
I think gender mutilation should be a sore spot, don't you think? I think that's natural, that the Democrats love child genital mutilation. We used to condemn countries like Upper Volta in Central Africa, with the capital of Ouagadougou. Now they're Burkina Faso, but they used to be Upper Volta. They were still Ouagadougou as the capital, and we would condemn them. But now the Democrats want to build in money for child genital mutilation and for DEI because it's always a shakedown. They've always got a gun to your head. Kat Kemick is having none of it.
The test vote coming up, which is the rule vote, that's where you're going to see some friction. That is over the SAVE Act, which would require proof of citizenship in order to vote in a federal election.
Just a federal, you can still vote in Chicago elections and California elections, statewide and citywide, without being a U.S. citizen because the Democrats are criminals. Kat Kemick is talking about the SAVE Act and how the Democrats are just fighting against it.
I think there's some forward progress. I do think the shutdown will end today, but most importantly, we've got to get the SAVE Act across the finish line.
And maybe not in this legislation that reopens the government. And the speaker said the same thing because the Democrats, again, Schumer said every single Democrat in the Senate will vote against this bill to reopen the government if the SAVE Act is in there because they need crime to be ubiquitous, and they're normalizing everything terrible. Kat Kemick, Congresswoman, and the SAVE Act.
No, unfortunately, it's looking like the SAVE Act won't be attached to the rule on this spending package, which is honestly frustrating because Americans across the country have demanded this. Election integrity is one of the top issues that they have been calling for. And so not to have this as part of the ultimate package, it's a little bit of a frustration and a sore spot.
Ultimate package, a lot of sore spots, too. Have you seen a lot of sore spots? Because the Democrats there, absolutely, and you heard Schumer, every single Democrat will vote because they bullwhip them, and the Democrat Party is the party of the bullwhip, and they say, well, not a single Democrat will vote for the SAVE Act, and how can that be? Well, they goose step in unison wherever they go. Isn't that amazing? And the Kat Kamik, hey, shutdowns, they're not great. Nobody likes them very much except for the Democrats because and Schumer's already saying, well, they're announcing they're going to keep the government shut down and not vote to reopen it because they're extorting money for DEI and child genital mutilation. And if the Republicans don't vote for child genital mutilation, then the Democrats will shut the government down. And then they just say to the New York Times, hey, the Republicans shut the government down, and to CNN. And the CNN and the New York Times say, the Republicans shut the government down, when they know perfectly well that the Democrats shut the government down. Congresswoman Kamik.
We recognize that shutdowns are chaos, and we want to keep the strong work going that the president has been leading on, getting our economy back on track. And shutdowns don't hurt anybody but the American people, certainly not the Congress critters up here that continue to get their pay while others don't.
Yeah, the members of Congress continue because they pass the laws, and they say, well, shut the government down. We want to get paid. Nobody else in the government gets paid, but we do. And they do because they're filthy, third world corrupt. Kat Kamik, now listen to this is important stuff from Congresswoman Kat Kamik out of Florida on the SAVE Act and what the Democrats are really up to.
What we have to do is make sure this gets across because, as you pointed out, this is a real issue for a lot of Americans. But then on the flip side, you have folks that say it's not. Well, the facts tell a very different story. 19 states currently issue driver's licenses to non-citizens. Of those 19 states, 15 do automatic voter registration when you get your driver's license. So you can see where this has become a serious place for fraud.
Democrats commit fraud every chance they get, and they don't care. And the New York Times doesn't report. 60 Minutes is not working on a story on that right now. And honestly, how many states could they swing? How big a deal could this be?
And we know from years of watching this happen in North Carolina, Virginia, California, Illinois, New York, we have countless examples of thousands and thousands of non-citizens voting, which is problematic, particularly when you have such tight margins here in the House. And I serve with colleagues who won their race by 6 votes, 29 votes, 800 votes. Every vote matters, but it has to be cast legally, and people need to know going into the ballot box that it is going to be a valid vote, and they're not going to be canceled out by somebody who shouldn't have been here in the first place.
And the Democrats assume that illegal aliens will vote for them very, very reliably. And so you heard that. It's pretty appalling stuff, and it's true. Members of Congress win their races by 6 votes or 29 votes. There are 19 states that give driver's licenses to non-citizens. Non-citizens are not eligible to vote. And in 15 of those states, they automatically register you to vote. And then the Democrats say, oh, it's already illegal. Yeah, so smoking crack. But I think every Democrat smokes crack. Does every Democrat smoke crack? Or they just behave as though they all smoke crack? We're at 888-630-9625. It's the Democrats. They don't want the SAVE Act because they want to steal elections.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed. Shop now for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
I'm Dr. Howard Levine, Director of Cleveland Nasal Sinus and Sleep Center. During cold and flu season, I tell my patients the key to staying well is to pull out germs, mucus, bacteria, and viruses from the nose using the Navage-powered nasal irrigator. I irrigate my own nose daily with Navage to stay healthy and after seeing sick patients.
For drug-free congestion relief, trust #1 doctor-recommended Navage. Available at Walmart and Walgreens.
Spend your afternoons with the Sean Hannity Show. Weekdays 3 to 6 here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard around the world at talk973.com.
When Mother Nature unleashes its fury, will your roof hold up? With Creed & Garner Roofing, the answer is yes, and the experts agree. They've just won the 2025 Platinum Preferred Contractor Award from Owens Corning for product excellence, providing what their customers already know. Creed & Garner installs roofs that last. From repairs to full replacements, their certified team delivers unbeatable quality and peace of mind. That's why they've been in business for over 40 years in the Sandhills. Call Creed & Garner Roofing at 910-944-0520 for a free estimate.
Care Aloha. Buy more, save more. Going on now. Hi, this is Catherine Phelps, owner of Appliances and More, where creating relationships is our business. Care Aloha carries sustainable bamboo fabrics consisting of sheets, towels, blankets, pillows, mattresses, and men and women sleepwear. The buy more, save more going on now. Come feel the difference at your local veteran-owned Appliances and More, featuring Care Aloha in the Town and Country Shopping Center, Aberdeen.
Romans 10:17 tells us, "So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God." Join the Calvary Memorial Church service right here on WEEB at 11 a.m. every Sunday morning and hear the word of God preached.
This is Steve Woodward teeing off. When snow falls in North Carolina, tyranny and arrogance rise. After last Saturday's non-storm failed to threaten accumulation records, Democrat Governor Josh Stein flooded social media with messages. "Stay off the roads," Stein lectured. But the politician's lockdown mentality never fails to clash with reality. Absent a weather apocalypse, medical facilities must remain operational. Surgeons and nurses and technicians are obligated to show up. While schools notoriously close even for snow flurries, small businesses on thin margins can't hunker down and wait for a green light from the governor's mansion. Restaurants and cafes sow seeds of goodwill when they open doors amid winter conditions, and staff appreciate income and tips. Several Sandhills eateries never closed last weekend. That will be remembered. And let us not forget Duke Energy's response in recent days. The same Duke Energy that raised residential rates as of January 1, again, to accommodate rising costs of unreliable, renewable, and solar energy, issued a request on Sunday. Reduce energy use, Duke begged. Lower thermostats. Don't use appliances. Protect the grid. It's not up to the provider. It's all on us. I'm Steve Woodward, emphatically teed off.
Yeah, I gotta say, Kat Kemick today was, she had it together. 19 states give driver's licenses to non-citizens. 15 of those states automatically register those non-citizens to vote. Now, why would you do that? There's only one possible explanation for that, and that is they're criminals. That's the short version. Let's go back to the telephones, Michael. And we've got a good deal more other stuff coming up, unrelated. Don Lemon, for example, Jimmy Kimmel and all kinds of, and this crazy lefty who's a protester posted a video of himself. He's very unwell. Let's go. We're running out of time, but let's go to Richard calling from Manassas, Virginia. Ricardo, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Grazie. Thank you for taking my call. Other than being the party of death and slavery since their founding in 1832, the Democrats aggravate the hell out of me because every time they stop DHS funding over the border wall or ICE is funded through the big beautiful bill until 2030, they also cut off funding to the sixth branch of the military, the U.S. Coast Guard, and they deprive their families of needed money to live on over stupid stuff like not deporting rapists and child molesters and human smugglers and criminal aliens, and it just aggravates the hell out of me. There's 46,000 Coasties, and they're holding them hostage so that way Democrats can defend rapists and murderers and criminal aliens.
And by sidelining the Coast Guard, of course, they open the gateway for the Venezuelan drug traffickers and Colombian drug traffickers.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. The Clintons pull an about-face. Bill and Hillary Clinton now say they will testify in a House investigation focusing on the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Bill Clinton's deputy chief of staff confirmed the news on social media, writing, "The former president and former Secretary of State will be there." It comes days before the Republican-led U.S. House of Representatives was expected to vote to hold both Clintons in criminal contempt over their months-long resistance. The House Oversight Committee, led by Republicans, approved the measure to hold the Clintons at contempt late last month with the support of several Democrats.
Correspondent Bill Alexander. We expect a House vote today on a funding package that would end the partial government shutdown. President Trump urges lawmakers to pass the funding bill without delay.
The president said there can be no changes in the spending package at this time, and he's seeking support from all Republicans and Democrats. He wrote online that we need to get the government open. House members must pass the Senate-approved measure in order to end a partial government shutdown, but there's pushback from lawmakers in both parties.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston, the government, except for the Department of Homeland Security, would be funded through the end of September. DHS would get 2 weeks' worth of funding while lawmakers debate ICE reforms. The president is talking about his big plans for the Kennedy Center.
We're going to have all brand new air conditioning, heating. The steel will all be checked out because it'll be fully exposed. You know, it's been up for a long time.
The Washington Cultural Landmark will be closed for renovations for a couple of years starting July 4th. The Kennedy Center opened back in '71. The House of the Mouse getting a new CEO. Disney executive Josh D'Amaro succeeds Bob Iger. D'Amaro currently leads the company's Parks and Resorts division. On Wall Street, the Dow 30 points higher, the Nasdaq down 192. More on these stories at townhall.com.
NCN News, I'm Mike Riley. New comments from President Trump are adding to concerns among Democrats that he may try to interfere with this year's midterm elections. On a podcast, he said,
Republicans should say, we want to take over. We should take over the voting in at least 15 places.
After a snowstorm that struck the North Carolina coast over the weekend with accumulation up to 18 inches, the Outer Banks area continues to reap the damages. 3 more homes fell into the ocean in Buxton. Sam Walker of OBXnews.com tells NCN News.
Last year, in fact, where we had 6+ inches. Last year in January, twice in like the span of 2 weeks. Usually it's our end of the coast that gets it, but the Central Coast got to experience it, one of those rarities.
Road crews continue to work secondary road after the weekend winter storm dumped several inches of snow. This spokesman for Henderson County tells WLOS in Asheville.
So we have about 5 plow crews right now that are hitting all of the city streets.
Doctors are warning people not to attempt to walk on frozen ponds or lakes. On Sunday, a Cary man jumped into a pond after he saw a 10-year-old boy fall through the icy water. And the man and the young boy were rescued. Dr. Christine Nettle of UNC Health tells ABC 11.
You can start to get some of the lack of blood flow to your fingers, to your toes. That's when people start to have the risk of, frostbite, and the circulation doesn't really go to your extremities anymore.
The Justice Department is being heavily criticized over its handling of the Epstein files. Virginia Giuffre was one of Epstein's most vocal accusers. She committed suicide last year. Her brother, Sky Roberts, told CBS Mornings.
These are intimate details in these documents.
And the American Red Cross says it's experiencing a nationwide blood shortage. You're listening to NCN News.
Sometimes the simplest steps make the biggest difference. Washing your hands often, staying home when you're sick, and talking with your health provider about vaccines.
Help keep your family protected against the flu, RSV, and COVID. Simple steps, big protection.
Defend yourself. Get vaccinated to protect you and your family from respiratory illnesses this season. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find yours today.
Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
PBS North Carolina premieres an all-new season of the music series Shaped by Sound, featuring 13 North Carolina artists, including Grammy winner Anthony Hamilton, Rock Band Wednesday singer-songwriter Ben Folds, and NC Music Hall of Famer Jim Lauderdale, among others. Watch as they perform in the studio and share the stories behind their songs. Thursdays at 10:30 p.m. on PBS NC, or stream anytime on the free PBS app. Learn more about PBS North Carolina at pbsnc.com.
Rick's Wood-Fired Pizza in the Kohl's and Hobby Lobby Shopping Center has updated their menu. Many of their salads, pizzas, and wings are still available, plus several new ones. Now their fresh pizza dough is made with authentic Italian flour from Naples, Italy, the birthplace of pizza. So experience genuine Italian flavor. Rick's is the fun place for family and friends. Dine in or sit on the patio? So jump into the fire at Rick's Wood-Fired Pizza in the Kohl's and Hobby Lobby Shopping Center. Rick's Wood-Fired Pizza is open daily from 11 a.m.
Say goodbye to the sunshine. Our next weather maker's rolling in today, and we're not going to see the sun that we saw yesterday. Should be cloudy this afternoon and milder with highs in the mid-40s to low 50s. Tonight, some rain rolls in. It stays overcast with a low in the low to mid-30s. And at this point, I don't think we're going to see anything frozen for the day tomorrow. It's cloudy late in the day and into the evening. We'll see some rain mixed with some sleet pellets, maybe some wet snowflakes. The highs in the mid to upper 40s. A wintry mix possible Wednesday night. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
The Chris Plant Show is sponsored by Sandy Ridge Memory Care and Assisted Living in Candor, a place for compassionate care. Call 910-974-4162.
I'm just here. I'm just here photographing.
Are you okay?
I'm not part of the group. I'm just here photographing. I'm a journalist.
Hey guys, house of the devil.
Yes, Don Lemon and one of his radical extremist mentally ill friends, William Kelly, a bearded loon attacking the church in St. Paul, Minnesota, because, ICE might arrest illegal alien child molesters. And the Democrats want to make sure that the illegal alien child molesters are loose on the streets because they want more of that. The convicted murderers. And remember the guy who was from Brazil that broke out of jail in Brazil? He had been convicted in a mass murder. I think 12 people were murdered, right? And this guy is involved in the mass murder. And the Brazilian illegal alien came into the country illegally as an illegal alien, which is illegal. And he made his way to, I think it was New Hampshire. He was working at a family's house there. And ICE found him, and the Democrats were very angry. So wait a minute, the guy was law enforcement in Brazil. He was involved in a massacre of about a dozen people. He was convicted. I think he was given more than 700 years in prison. And he escaped from prison in Brazil, came to the United States, working at a family's house in New England, and he was arrested there. And the Democrats were very angry because, they're not smart people. They're not good people. But let me get back, because the guy yelling, "This isn't the house of the Lord. This is Satan's house." He's a Democrat radical protester, and he was arrested because of his attack on the church. He was part of that mob that attacked the nice church in the middle of church services because they claimed that one of the pastors there is also an ICE agent or employee or something. They weren't really sure, but it doesn't matter because their brains don't work as designed. But the headline from January 23rd, anti-ICE Minnesota agitator arrested days after daring Bondi to do so. That's the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi. William Kelly, arrested after harassing churchgoers on camera, daring Attorney General Pam Bondi to, quote, come and get me. Come and get me. So they went and got him. And William Kelly, one of the anti-U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement agitators who disrupted a service at City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota, on Sunday, has been arrested. This is last week now. A third subject has now been arrested, connected to targeting City's Church in Minneapolis Sunday. William Kelly, he's been involved in loud radical protests in Washington, D.C. and elsewhere. He's a radical. He looks like a mountain man from Jeremiah Johnson or something. He's got a long beard and bushy facial hair and long hair on his head, and he wears a knit cap pulled down his head. He looks like a homeless person, but he's just a Democrat in good standing. He's now in custody, FBI Director Kash Patel declared in a Thursday post on X. Now, I just want to, he's a perfectly typical Democrat, and he's been arrested a couple of times. He wears a knit cap, like a watch cap, and it says, beep Trump on the forehead. It's got the F word, which he likes very, very much, like a little child. And he's got this, he wears doubtless a stolen jacket with orange reflective stuff, and he wears a black knit cap with beep Trump embroidered, mind you. It's not like a bumper sticker stuck to the hat. It's sewn in to the forehead of the hat to F Trump, all spelled out. So I think we know how he feels about Trump and about decorum and decency. But I want to play for you a bit of audio because this guy who's a run-of-the-mill Democrat, William Kelly, and he was arrested, and then he set up a GoFundMe page for himself. And he raised, because Democrats are mentally ill, he raised more than $100,000, he says, and, 6 figures that people gave him because he's a mentally ill criminal who wants murderers who are illegal aliens loose on the streets of everywhere in America, from Minneapolis to Arizona, for that matter, where an 84-year-old woman was kidnapped from her home. Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Savannah Guthrie, 84 years old, and she's missing, and it doesn't look good. Signs of violence and forced entry and blood in her home, and very bad situation. But let me get back to this William Kelly guy, because we knew about him in Washington, D.C. as a radical, as a leftist. Again, a big, long mountain man beard, and which is great. And he shows up at all these protests, and he's very loud. And he was at the church attack in St. Paul, Minnesota, about a week ago, and he asserts that all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people, he's a white person, of course, one of the whitest people you've ever seen. He says, all these comfortable white people are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. They all use this rhetoric, and I've talked about this for years. They make the stuff up, they say it out loud, and then they end up believing the things that they just made up because of the brain damage. Now let me go to this guy, Democrat protester, William Kelly, because, again, he... And just check out the mental illness of these people. And these are the ones blocking streets in Minnesota. You see them barricading streets. They brought, wood piles and orange cones that they stole from places. And they block streets, and they stand there, and they run your license plates, they say. And so they got friends in the police, and they got friends in these chat rooms, have elected Democrat officials on them, looking to sabotage the United States of America and our constitutional republic, and the police and law enforcement on a federal level, state level, and local level. But here's William Kelly, because now, again, he's been arrested before for his radical idiot protests, and then he was arrested for the attack on the church. He goes on the internet as Da Woke Farmer. D-A space W-O-K-E space farmer. Da woke farmer, William Kelly. And it turns out that he was arrested, and then he set up a GoFundMe page, and he raised six figures, right, more than $100,000. And then somebody on Reddit made an online internet, website, whatever, and they went on Reddit and said, oh, this guy, William Kelly, he's skimming money. He's just taking the money for himself, which is true, of course. And that made him lose what's left of his mind. So here is William Kelly, da woke farmer, a notorious protester, left-wing protester, who's pro-illegal alien, gang member, child rapist, murderer, and anti-law-abiding citizen. Here is William Kelly. He posted this video himself, very, very angry because some random person on Reddit said something negative about him. Here is Da Woke Farmer.
My wife just showed me a Reddit post talking about me, saying I came to Minnesota for clout, for profit, and that I'm taking away from the local organizations. Are you kidding me? Do you not realize how many local organizations we support every single day?
We support.
Do you not realize how much I've sacrificed? I have been protesting every single day since October. I've been beat down, arrested, shot right in the face with a OC cannon spray. I've had a knee on my neck. I'm facing 10 years in federal prison for supporting a local organization's protest. And you're telling me I'm taking away from what Minnesota's doing?
It's he's got a wife. Well, let's just start with that. Goes to the old line, the generosity of women will never cease to amaze me. Some woman has decided that William Kelly is the right guy for her. And and there he is. He's the woke farmer. We support, and he's screaming, he's angry, right? He's been protesting every day since October. Don't have a job, I guess. And again, the wife must be a piece of work, too. But very upset because somebody on Reddit, his wife, his very, very generous wife, told him, or demented wife, told him that somebody on Reddit said something negative. So he had to post a video of himself saying all this stuff. And again, he really likes the F word. It's embroidered on his hat, on his knit cap and the forehead, just above the word Trump, the name Trump embroidered in his hat. And beep Trump is in the thing. And then he's in every sentence you must have the F word at least once, sometimes twice. Good stuff. And really, it's just Reddit. You know, people say negative things about me on the internet. I know that's hard to believe, but people do. And I don't actually notice them. I'm completely unaffected by these things, but I guess I'm not William Kelly.
Every single dime I spend is going back into the community. I share fundraisers for local organizations every single day, but I'm taking away from the community? I'm a Minnesotan now, mother. I love this place. I love this how you resist. I love your community. That's why I stayed here, to show what's happening here, to show the rest of the world, to use my influence to show people how you know how to resist already, how you're building the framework for the revolution.
He's got influence, and he's building the framework for the revolution, and he's showing other people how to build the framework for the revolution. The Democrat Party is building towards civil war, to all out civil war in the United States of America. And they keep talking about it, and, you know, the revolution. And again, I shared with you something that nobody else is sharing with you. The organizations that made the signs for the latest go-round of protests in Minnesota. And it's another communist organization, another literal communist organization. And I told you that we had the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and that I went to their website, and they're death to capitalism and death to the United States, and they're all out there in the streets. And now the Socialist Alternative, they have made the professionally made signs. They're protesting against Target, the store Target, because the Target store in Minneapolis allows ICE to use their parking lot. And that is enough to, now we've got to burn down Target and boycott everything because the mental illnesses, right? And this guy, he's building a revolution. And those guys also, they're communists and they're anti-capitalist, death to capitalism. They call it socialism. The Soviet Union called it socialism too. They're communists. and they want to steal everything and bankrupt the country. We're already $38 trillion in debt, and it would take us 1 million years to pay it off, but we're not paying it off, so I guess we don't have to start the clock on that. Isn't that amazing? And so this guy he's got a wife, amazing, and we support all the local, and it's a revolution. The revolution is coming, and this is the mental illness that we're dealing with here. Every day since October, he's been protesting, and somebody said something on Reddit, so he had a mental meltdown, and he's still having that meltdown.
So anybody that's hating on me for raising over $100,000 while I was in jail because I need a defender, I need a lawyer, you know how expensive a federal attorney is? So you. You for saying that. I love the people. I do this every single day for the people because I was a history major. I know what happens next, and I'm scared. So if you want to say I'm doing it for influence and profit, for one, I ain't profiting, and for two, you.
He seems a little emotional, doesn't he? I think you think his mom's proud of him. I think maybe his mom is proud of him. Man, oh man, and that's because he's anti-ICE, and he's got a GoFundMe page, and he just said there more than $100,000. Somebody noticed, and he's making a living. They're all making a living, and it's a fundraiser thing. And idiots can give him money if they wish. But there it is. It's the revolution, and he's funding the revolution. He's organizing and orchestrating the revolution, and isn't that amazing? Yes, it is. Yes, sir. He's a well-known protester in protest circles, and I'd say that he's a mentally ill communist, and there is a woman that, well, at least that he calls his wife, that pointed out that somebody said something on Reddit that was critical of him, apparently. And so, his Democrat colors came out to fly.
You have to use so many cuss words.
You!
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too. Newsmax has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2. And you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says we're now one of the top news brands in the nation. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest growing news channel in America. Make the switch today and join our news revolution. Get Newsmax on cable, on streaming, and download the free app today. It takes just seconds to start. Let President Trump know you stand with Newsmax. It's for real news, for real people. Make the switch today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed. Shop now for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Listen carefully. Silver prices have experienced a historic surge, breaking above the $100 per ounce threshold for the first time, and industry experts predict silver could climb even higher. It's not too late for you to benefit from the surge in silver. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 to get our free gold and silver investment guide. Plus, you'll also receive a free copy of economist Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Debt is rising, currencies are under pressure, and investors are looking for real assets, not paper promises. That's why so many Americans are turning to physical gold and silver with Advantage Gold. Historically, when silver starts moving, it can move fast and aggressively. This isn't about guessing tops or bottoms. It's about understanding risk and positioning before momentum accelerates. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and find out how you can get a tax and penalty-free rollover for a portion of your retirement funds for 2026. Results vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Spend your afternoons with the Sean Hannity Show. Weekdays 3 to 6, here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB.
You found it, your dream home. The perfect square footage on a quiet street. The midtown condo with the amazing roof deck. The country house on some acreage. Or maybe it's a little bungalow on the beach. Whatever your dream looks like, First Bank offers personalized loan programs. Great rates and exceptional service every time for everyone. Dreams happen at First Bank. Learn more by visiting a local branch or go to localfirstbank.com/mortgage.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Building or purchasing your dream home, adding a new fence, or maybe you're purchasing or dividing land. If so, precision matters. Before you break ground on that next project, contact DZT Land Surveying first. Whether it's residential or commercial, our fully licensed expert team provides accurate, reliable surveys to ensure your land is marked right the first time. We handle everything from property boundaries, construction layouts, to infrastructure projects. So schedule your quote by calling 910-420-1325 and avoid future issues. Trust DZT Land Surveying for all your survey needs.
Romans 10:17 tells us, "So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God." Join the Calvary Memorial Church service right here on WEEB at 11 a.m. every Sunday morning and hear the Word of God preached.
If you have a computer with 5 to 7 years of age on it, it's probably in need of a tune-up. Over the years, your computer picks up files and toolbars that you don't need, and eventually it reduces your computer performance a great deal. Just bring your PC or Mac to WEEB Computer Repair here at the WEEB Studios on Midland Road. No problem is too big or too small for our Super Geek, and our prices are much lower than the box stores. WEEB Computer Repair, 690-9723, the home of the Super Geek.
WEEB, we've got you by the ears.
Let's go to the telephones, Michael. I've got a story for you about a Biden judge overturning something President Trump is doing. And you're going to love her. She's coming up. But let's go to the telephones. Let's go to Tsunami Tom, calling from Lorton, Virginia. Tsunami Tom, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris.
Hey, hey.
I love starting my day off with you. You're so funny. Love it, love it, love it. Well, first of all, I would like to say I think you're being a little insensitive because that gentleman who's screaming at the top of his lung, you can't assume his wife's gender. So please, be a little bit more sensitive about that.
Fair point. Fair point. You're absolutely correct. I apologize to all Democrats who are all suffering from gender dysphoria.
Correct. Thank you. I appreciate your sensitivity there. Secondly, I'd like to point out an obvious fact that I think everyone has already seen, but just looking at these people that show up at these protests, they're not the prettiest people in the world. I mean, they're not tall, handsome, strong like I am. So I think there's a little resentment there, right? I think maybe there's some frustration in the central region, just kind of spitballing here that might be something to take a look at for them to, get some of that aggression out in a different way. Let's just say that.
Maybe we should be funding surgeries beyond their genital surgeries and maybe some cosmetic surgeries, and then they could feel better about themselves.
Maybe.
Because you're right. Not everyone can be tall, handsome, and what was the other part?
Strong.
And strong, tall, handsome, and strong. Right. And yeah, that's true. It's true that they're not a good-looking bunch of people as a rule. And you think of Minnesota people as a rule as being pretty good-looking Americans, right?
Well, it's cold, so I don't know.
A lot of clothes.
Maybe the hot ones have left. The hot ones might have left. Nothing against Minnesota, but I don't know. I think I'd rather be in Florida if I'm tall, handsome, and strong. Or Northern Virginia. I'll take Northern Virginia.
As well, Northern Virginia as well. At least Lorton, yeah. That's funny stuff. Yeah, Minnesota was always Scandinavian people. It was settled by Scandinavian, but now I guess it's kind of Mogadishu on LSD.
I wouldn't insult Mogadishu, please.
Honestly, it's so what do they call it? Minadishu. It's that the Democrats are making everything better. It used to be Minneapolis.
I had one more thing for you before you go to break because I know you're coming up against it. I hate that the Republicans in Congress never take advantage of their power. I would recommend that they do single votes on the following. Vote that it shall no longer be required to enter a federal building without an ID. Vote that it shall no longer be required to board an airplane without an ID. Vote that it shall be required that you can pick up your mail at the post office without an ID. And then vote that it shall be required not to have an ID when you vote.
I think that is an excellent plan. You're right about the Republicans. They need you. They should hire you, and they could hire me too.
This is the Chris Plant Show.
97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB. We've got you by the ears.
Hurry, don't miss this rebate. Get exclusive savings on select cafe appliances at Keys Appliance Center in Aberdeen before the rebate program ends June 30th. Whether you're building or remodeling, the stunning look of cafe appliances coupled with their smart technology will make any kitchen a delight to cook in. Receive up to $3,000 on select appliances via Visa prepaid card direct from cafe. Better hurry, the offer ends June 30th. Visit the appliance experts at Keys Appliance Center in downtown Aberdeen for complete details.
Attention classic car enthusiasts. Is your vintage ride just collecting dust, begging for a second chance? At veteran-owned Innovation Performance Technologies, we bring your dream ride to life. Our award-winning expert team can restore every detail of your cruiser with precision and passion. If you're looking for a complete frame-off restoration, custom upgrades, or paint jobs, we can do those with ease. Turn that unfinished project into a classic beauty. Contact Innovation Performance Technologies at 910-678-4600 or online at innovationperformance.tech.
Everyone has one, a to-do list. Don't let yours become overwhelming. Your friendly Olmsted Village Hardware family is just around the corner, ready to assist. The team is on duty every day off of Highway 211 in Pinehurst Olmsted Village Shopping Center. Convenient parking awaits you near the front door. Inside, we'll handle your projects affordably and efficiently. Olmsted Village Hardware carries a broad spectrum of tools for home and garden, including a lineup of Ego electric chainsaws, blowers, and hedge trimmers. Ego products are more powerful than gas options. Do-it-yourselfers are inspired by our selections of must-have tools for the home workshop, including time-tested brands such as DeWalt, Master Mechanic, and National Hardware. Whatever is on the list, Manager Joe and his staff are standing by to help 7 days a week. And don't forget to ask about our bargains of the month. Short on time? No problem. Shop with us online and schedule delivery.
With me in the studio is Sue Maxwell, who is a patient at Pinecone Medical Center, where Dr. Sharon Wright practices chiropractic medicine. Now, Sue, you went there with pain. What kind of pain was it, and what did you do about it?
Yes, I had arthritis in my cervical spine, and I had pain that radiated out through my shoulder, down my arm. I went to see Dr. Wright, and she did the pressure wave therapy on me. Through treatments and everything, I actually eliminated the pain in my spine and in my shoulder.
So did the pressure wave work as advertised?
Oh, my goodness, it did. Yes, I am pain-free.
And would you recommend it to your friends?
Absolutely, and I have. I have told many friends.
If you're suffering from pain, why not schedule a free, no-obligation appointment with Dr. Sharon Wright at Pinecombe Medical Center? Call 910-420-1911 or visit on the web at pinecombemedicalcenter.com.
Mace Electric Company in Seven Lakes has been providing quality commercial and residential electrical service in the Sandhills for over 40 years. From bad switches to home surge protection, Mace Electric Company can handle any commercial or residential electrical repair. Unlimited license, locally owned and operated. Call Kenny and Gail Mace at Mace Electric Company in Seven Lakes, 910-673-0093. 910-673-0093.
American Water Treatment has grateful customers, and this is one of them, Allison Burlingame in Southern Pines. Allison, what was the problem that caused you to call American Water Treatment?
After a water analysis purchasing our farm, they were able to give me an economical and corrective solution to adjusting the water quality at my home.
So how did that work out?
Great. The water quality in my home is better than the bottled water from the store. My laundry is cleaner, my skin and hair is softer. I've even become a bit of a water snob because I prefer to bottle my own water at home, which saves me time and money. I would not hesitate to recommend American Water Treatment to anyone who has issues with their water.
Call American Water Treatment at 910-944-3140 and ask for the Water Guys, or check the yellow pages under water. 910-944-3140.
Say goodbye to the sunshine. Our next weather maker's rolling in today, and we're not going to see the sun that we saw yesterday. Should be cloudy this afternoon and milder with highs in the mid-40s to low 50s. Tonight, some rain rolls in. It stays overcast with a low in the low to mid-30s. And at this point, I don't think we're going to see anything frozen for the day tomorrow. It's cloudy late in the day and into the evening. We'll see some rain mixed with some sleet pellets, maybe some wet snowflakes. The highs in the mid to upper 40s. A wintry mix possible Wednesday night. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
WEEB. We've got you by the ears.
You know, the Democrats love to call everybody racist because of their history of racism. But the Democrats have a person in the House of Representatives named Sri Thanadar. He's a Democrat from the Detroit area in Michigan.